Heidi.
Oh, Red Baron.
News time, 7:27. These are the top stories from the KYW newsroom. Within the hour, the executive board of the Philadelphia Federation of Teachers will be voting on whether to honor the picket line set up by striking members of the maintenance union. Firemen's and Oilers Union Local 1201 formally requested the teachers' support in order to increase the pressure in negotiations with the city school board. School officials say all schools will be open tomorrow, no matter how tonight's vote turns out. The first day of jury selection in the retrial of former union leader W.A. Tony Boyle saw 3 women chosen to sit on the panel. Another woman and 2 men were excused from jury duty for undisclosed reasons. Selection is expected to take several more days. Boyle pleaded not guilty this morning to charges that he conspired to murder union rival Jock Yablonsky and Yablonsky's wife and daughter. Bert Lance has told a Senate committee that his conscience is clear, and he charged that members of Congress and the media have smeared him with innuendo. Lance defended himself against charges of unethical conduct in his banking practices. The budget director said his large bank overdrafts were not illegal and that he paid back the money. Lance will be back on Capitol Hill tomorrow to continue his testimony. KYW will have a special report on the Lance affair right after the ball game. The Philadelphia District Attorney's Office is dropping robbery charges against 32-year-old George Robinson. He was arrested last month, just 3 weeks after he charged he'd been assaulted by police in South Philadelphia. Robinson's picture appeared in the Inquirer, and the taxi driver claimed he'd been held up by Robinson, but the cabbie failed to pick Robinson out of a lineup, so the charges are being dropped. A federal investigation into Robinson's charges that he was beaten by 2 police officers is continuing. The House of Representatives has rejected by 1 vote a proposal to set a lower minimum wage for teenagers than for adults. The deciding vote was that of Speaker Tip O'Neill, who broke a tie, making the final vote 211 to 210 against the proposal. The vote came as the House considered a bill to raise the minimum wage to $2.65 an hour.
Have you caught the radio?
This is News Radio in the Delaware Valley, KYW 1060 Philadelphia. Group W, Westinghouse Broadcasting, serving Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware from Independence Mall. AccuWeather says we'll have considerable cloudiness, more humid weather tonight and tomorrow. A couple of brief showers, the overnight low 62, the high tomorrow 76. On the mall right now, it's 64 degrees and cloudy. The official airport temperature at 7:30, 66.
Have you caught the radio? Catch it on KYW. Catch it on KYW.
Phillies baseball is brought to you by Tasty Cakes. Still all the good things wrapped up in one. And proud to list them right on the label. Thanks, Tasty Cakes. And by your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer. If you want a Grand Slam deal on a top-notch selection of great new cars, he's got it. By the people in your town who bottled Coca-Cola. From the top of the first to the very last out, Coke adds life to baseball enjoyment. And by Buick and its local dealers who say you're closer to a Buick than you think. Check it out. And by the Seratano Hilton, home of Seratano wines, next door to the Phillies. By the Rustler Steakhouse, where a great steak dinner with baked potato and salad still costs under $3. And by Girard Bank, the bank that brings you the best in sports and the best in banking.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a brisk evening at Veterans Stadium, where tonight the Phillies will set a single-season attendance record. I'm Andy Musser with Rich Ashburn and Harry Callis. Phillies are in a scoring drought right now. Rich, they've gone 19 innings without a run.
Well, that's true. Everybody seems to be a bit concerned. The Phillies have gone scoreless in 2 ball games. I think you have to give the opposition pitchers a little credit. Nino Espinosa really cranked up a strong ball game, and as he told Harry Callis last night on his post-game show, probably the best game he's pitched in the major leagues. And of course, the night before, Jim Rooker and Rich Gossage combined on a shutout against the Phillies, and that's pretty strong pitching from those 2 ball clubs. Phillies will try to break out of it tonight against right-hander Craig Swan. Randy Lurch will be going for the Phillies. The Pirates from St. Louis rained out last night, are playing a twilight doubleheader in St. Louis. They're scoreless after 3 innings in that first ball game. Phillies right now lead the Pirates by 7.5 games, 8 games in the loss column. Bobby Wine handing out the Phillies lineup. Mets manager Joe Torre, the Mets lineup, and we'll give you those starting lineups in a moment.
This is my Sunoco station, and to get ahead, I've got to keep on my toes. So I've got something to keep my competition flat-footed. Sunoco's penny pinching pump. It has 190, the gas that's made to sell below my regular, and 220, it sells below my premium. So my pump could save you money on quality gas. Listen, if I don't want you to go right by me, I got to do right by you. Sunoco's penny pinching pump. It can fill up your tank for less. That's my way of being very friendly.
Did you know that if you're using gas with higher octane than your engine needs, you're literally wasting your money? That's why Sunoco has the penny pinching pump with 190 and 220. Both are quality gasoline. My 190 could save you money if your car runs on regular, and my 220 could save you money if your car runs on premium. Saving you money on quality gas is my way of being very friendly. Sunoco's penny pinching pump. It can fill up your tank for less.
You want it, we've got it. At your Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
We've got the best Volare values of 77 now. I'm Harry Callis, and I thought Volare was a good value before, but now it's a great value. All three models, coupe, sedan, and the number one selling wagon in America, have great year-end deals, just in time to beat the 78 price increase. Get the best 77 deal on your Volare at your local Chrysler Plymouth dealers today.
Burger you ever did see is called Gino's Giant. You listen to me. This giant is out to whoop the Whopper and massacre Big Mac. Two all-beef burgers piled high with all the trimmings and Gino's special sauce. The greatest just like me, the Giant from Gino. You try and see. If you don't like it, then come see me.
Now let's check the lineup for the Mets tonight. Leading off at third base, Lenny Randall. Batting second in center field, Lee Mazzilli. Batting third in left field, Steve Henderson. Batting fourth, the right fielder, Mike Vail. Batting fifth and catching, John Stern. Batting sixth, first baseman, Luis Rosado. Batting seventh, playing second base, Leo Foster. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Doug Flynn. And batting ninth, right-handed pitcher, Craig Swan. He has a record this year of 8 wins and 8 defeats and a 4.30 earned run average. Give you the Phillies lineup in a moment, but right now, our national anthem. Phillies lineup for this final meeting of the year with the New York Mets. Leading off in right field, Bake McBride. Batting second, shortstop Larry Boa. Batting third baseman Mike Schmidt. Batting fourth, the left fielder Greg Luzinski. Batting fifth, first baseman Richie Hebner. Batting sixth in center field, Gary Maddox. Batting seventh and catching, Bob Boone. Batting eighth, second baseman Ted Sizemore. Batting ninth, left-handed pitcher Randy Lurch with an 8-5 record and a 5.33 earned run average. This broadcast is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the Phillies solely for the entertainment of our listening audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, or other use of the description and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Phillies is prohibited. The announcers on this broadcast are retained by WPHL-TV, subject to the approval of the Phillies. Satch Davidson will be calling balls and strikes tonight. Terry Tata at first base, Bob Engel at second, and Harry Wendelstedt at third base. You can win up to $10,000 in the Daily News home run payoff. Tonight's payoff inning will be the sixth. And, of course, during every Phillies game, each Philly that homers receives a free case of Tasty Cake. And the same goes for every Phillies winning pitcher. Randy Lurch pitched a fine ball game his last time out, his third complete game, all against St. Louis. He defeated the Cardinals 3-1 in his last start, and the Phillies are hoping for another solid performance from him tonight. The Pittsburgh Pirates have scored a run in the fourth inning to lead St. Louis 1-0 at the end of four. In their first game of a doubleheader, they were rained out last night. John Candelaria pitching against Eric Rasmussen in that one. One complete game from this afternoon. Houston defeated San Francisco 6-3. Gene Pence, the winner in relief. Ed Halicki, the loser. He is 14-10. Ed Herman and Bob Watson each hit home runs for the Astros. That was the first of the year for Herman, and number 18 for Watson. Harry will fill you in on the American League scores as we go, and we're about ready for play-by-play. Lenny Randall standing outside the batter's box, and here for the action, Harry Callis.
All right, thanks, Andy. Good evening, everyone. Lenny Randall, the leadoff for the New York Mets, switch-hitting third baseman, batting right against Randy Lurch. Randall hitting at .299. Wind-up in the first pitch of the game is over for a strike call. One strike to count to Lenny Randall. Phillies tonight will set an all-time attendance record. Here's the pitch on the way. Breaking ball, skied to left field. Greg Luzinski drifting in. Maddox over to help him, but Greg sees it all the way and makes the catch. Lenny Randall, a high fly ball to left field. Occasionally early in a ball game, Greg will not see that ball way up in the air. He saw this one all the way. Just in case he didn't, Maddox was sprinting over to that area.
It's a little darker, though, this time of year, Harry. The sun is going down a little sooner. I think it's a little darker this time of night than early in the summer.
Here's Lee Mazzilli, and he takes a pitch low for a ball. Mazzilli hitting at .243. 1-0 pitch to him. High for a ball. It's 2-0. Mazzilli also, like Randall, a switch hitter. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Mazzilli. Swinging a bouncing foul at the plate. It's 2-1. Mazzilli batting .243. He's hit 6 homers. Knocked in 37 runs. Mets have had a good road swing. To Chicago, Montreal, and here they are 4-2 on this road trip. The 2-1 pitch, swinging a ground ball right back to Lurch. Good grab by Randy. Throws out Mazzilli. 2 down. That'll bring on Steve Henderson, the left fielder. Henderson batting at .301. 11 homers, 55 runs batted in. Birthday wishes tonight to Ralph Lehman, celebrating his 81st in Wyomissing, Pennsylvania. 2 outs and nobody on base. Top half of the first, game just underway. Here's a pitch to Henderson. Swings and he misses it. A good slider. 1 strike to count to Steve Henderson. Phillies are 12-5 this year against the Mets. 7-1 here at Veterans Stadium. Pitch on the way is a breaking ball low. It's 1-1. The Mets win last night was their first win in the state of Pennsylvania. They had not won a game here or at Three Rivers. Have 3 games left at Three Rivers. Breaking ball is over for a strike call. So Lurch is in front of Henderson. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball bouncing up there. It's 2-2 to Henderson. Lurch has not thrown Henderson a fastball yet. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Another breaking ball. Bounced foul down the third base side. It stays 2-2 to Henderson with 2 outs. Denny Summers coaching at third. Joe Pignatano at first for New York. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck him out with a good fastball. Henderson goes down swinging. Mets are down in order in the first. No runs, hits, or errors, and none left. And at the end of 1/2, New York nothing. Phillies coming to bat.
The next time you want to beautify your home, look for MAB Paints. We've moved our Bethlehem store to 2156 Hanover Avenue, where Club meets Hanover. We've also expanded and increased our services. Remember, there are 2 convenient MAB locations serving Allentown and Bethlehem. One location at 15th and Allen Streets, and our new location at 2156 Hanover Avenue. MAB, making America and the Lehigh Valley beautiful.
You want it, we got it, at your Chrysler.
I'm Harry Callis, and we've got the sensibly sized luxury car you've been waiting for. Chrysler LeBaron. Your Chrysler Plymouth dealer's got a good selection of 2- and 4-door beauties, each with the features you want. LeBaron's sure built for good looks and comfort. And now's the smart time to buy because you get luxury and beat the 78 price increase, too. Get the best 77 deal on LeBaron at your local Chrysler Plymouth dealers today.
Armand Serratano for Hilton Inn.
You know, last year, I fell in love with the Phillies. All year, they give me so many moments of joy. And when I love something, I want to be next to it. I want to be as close as I can. So they wouldn't sell me a piece of lead in a parking lot to build my house. I bought the Hilton Inn, right next to the stadium. So they could drink my wine, they could eat my food, and we could get together after the game. Would you please join us and share a glass of wine?
Well, the Phillies looking at right-hander Craig Swan tonight. He's 1-8, lost 8 on the year. His earned run mark 4.30. 26 years old, comes out of Arizona State University. He is 1-0 in 2 starts this year against the Phils. He beat Jim Cott 3-2 at Shea Stadium. Well, best wishes for a speedy recovery to Sam Schatz. Sam, who is Phillies usher, is under the weather, and Sam, all your friends from Section 316, Ann, Bruce, Elsie, and Marty, send their very best to you. Hope to see you back here soon. Bake McBride will lead off for the Phillies. Bake hitting at .318. 15 homers and 58 runs batted in. Bake for the Phillies, batting at a .348 clip. The pitch to him is very high for a ball. 1-0 the count to McBride. 1-0 pitch to McBride is high again, ball 2. It's 2-0. Last year at this time, the Phillies were just about at the end of their tailspin. The Phillies last year led the Pirates by 3 at this stage. Pitch to Bake is very high. It's 3-0. Swan has not even been close with a pitch. Falls behind McBride 3-0. Phillies tonight lead the Pirates by 7.5. The Buccos playing a doubleheader at St. Louis. The 3-0 pitch. High, ball 4. Walked him on 4 pitches, and not a one of them was close. So Bake is a base runner. That'll bring on Larry Boy, hitting at .270. John Stearns out to talk to Craig Swan. McBride at first base and nobody out. Phillies have not scored a run in the last 19 straight innings. The pitch to Boa. That found the outside corner for a strike called. One strike to count to Boa. Lenny Randall at third base, playing him shallow. Stretch by Swan. And the pitch to Larry is high for a ball. It's 1-1. McBride, the base runner at first base. Nobody out. There goes Bake. The pitch is high and away. The throw by Stearns, not in time, stolen base. Number 34 on the year for Bake McBride.
He had a good jump. John Stearns has been throwing out Phillies base runners one after another, but he didn't have much of a chance to get McBride. When Bake gets that kind of a jump and that kind of a lead, he makes it.
Bill Bake at second base. Nobody out. The count 2-1 to Larry Boa. Pitch to Boa. High and away. Ball 3. 3-1 the count. Swan has been able to throw only one pitch over for a strike. Walked McBride on 4 pitches. And he's behind Boa 3-1. The 3-1 pitch, high, ball 4. He walks Boa. 2 straight walks given up by Craig Swan. Pitching coach Rube Walker is coming to the mound to try to settle down his pitcher.
He's been high and outside on almost every pitch, and none of them really that close to the strike zone. Espinosa last night complained about the mound here, thought it was a little low. Said he made an adjustment, and he did all right.
Fans, a special package plan of the playoff games in Los Angeles on October 4th and 5th has been set up by Getaway Travel of Philadelphia. The package, which costs just $449 per person, includes round-trip air transportation, a box seat to each of the 2 playoff games, ground transportation, hotel room, double occupancy, cocktails and luncheon before each game, and all tax and gratuities. Flight will leave Monday night, October 3rd at 9:40. Return flight leaves Los Angeles at 10 p.m. on Wednesday, October 5th. Anyone interested should contact Getaway Travel at 742-6400. 2 men on base. Here's Mike Schmidt hitting at .274. The runners are breaking. The throw to third, not in time. Double steal pulled off by Bake McBride and Larry Boa. Bake, of course, the key going from second to third. That's his 35th steal of the year for Boa, number 32.
Stearns had a shot at McBride, but he made a high and wide throw. Randall had to go up and try to save it from going into the outfield, and then couldn't make the tag. But 3 stolen bases already.
The pitch was high to Mike Schmidt. It's 1-0. Schmidt is 0 for 6 this year off Craig Swan. And in 5 of those 6 at-bats, Swan has struck him out. 1-0 pitch to Mike. That's high and inside. Ball 2. 2-0. Swan is upstairs with everything. Bake McBride at third, Larry Boa at second. Here's the pitch to Schmidt. Swinging a line drive left field. Right there as Henderson makes the catch. McBride tags and scores, and the Phillies lead it 1-0. So gives Schmidt a sacrifice fly and a run batted in. And the Phillies waste no time in snapping that scoreless inning scheme, which had been 19 innings coming into this ball game. Phillies on the board, 1-0. Schmidt drives in his 86th run of the year. Boa holding at second base with 1 out. It'll bring on Greg Luzinski. Boa batting .307, 36 homers, 120 runs batted in. Larry Boa at second base and 1 out. The pitch to Luzinski is very high for a ball. 1-0 to count to Greg Luzinski. Phillies have scored a run here in the first without a hit. A couple of walks, 3 stolen bases, and a sacrifice fly. Pitch to Greg is low, and it's ball 2. 2-0 the count to Luzinski. Bob Myrick, a left-hander, starting to throw in the New York Mets bullpen. The 2-0 pitch. Swing and a very high fly ball center field. Lee Mazzilli coming in a few steps. He makes the catch. Luzinski is out. He just got under that ball. A sky-high fly to center for out number 2. Boa holding on at second base. It'll bring on Richie Hebner. Hebner hitting .289, 16 home runs. He's knocked in 58 runs. Larry Boa at second base, 2 outs. Here's a pitch to Hebner, and it's way outside for a ball. Swan stretches. 1-0 pitch. Swinging a ground ball to first base. Luis Rosado makes the unassisted put out, and the Phillies are down in the first. Phillies score a run in the inning without a hit. No met errors, 1 man left, and at the end of 1, it's Phillies 1, New York nothing.
The best thing about a Warren's card and gift shop is something you can't buy. It's the warm, friendly attitude of our employees. At Warren's, you're treated as a guest. People stroll through our 16 stores. No pressure, just the joy of finding a perfect gift. Stop in at one of our Warren's card and gift shops, where shopping is a pleasure. All your gifts are wrapped free. Be our guest first, and then a customer if you find the gift you want. See for yourself that Warren's is a nice place to visit and to shop. Visit our Warren's card and gift shop at the corner of Gay and High Street, Westchester.
Well, the Phillies go from here to St. Louis for a weekend series with the Cardinals, back home against the Chicago Cubs. Rick Russell, Bruce Sutter, Bill Buckner and company will be in Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights. Tuesday and Wednesday nights at 7:35, and Thursday, remember, the game will start at 5 o'clock against the Cubs. Plenty of tickets remain for that 3-game series with the Chicago Cubs starting next Tuesday. Mike Vail to lead off for the Mets here in the second inning. Vail hitting at .262. Vail has hit left-hand pitching well, batting .360 against left-hand pitching. Fly ball right field. Bake McBride is there, makes the catch. Vail's out on 1 pitch. There's 1 down here in the second. That'll bring up John Stearns. Stearns hitting at .261. He has 12 homers, one of them coming off Randy Lurch. 52 runs batted in. Baltimore and Toronto, 0-0 after 1. Ross Grimsley against Jim Clancy. Game 1 of a doubleheader at Kansas City. Oakland leading the Royals 4-0 behind Vita Blue. Andy Hassler for Kansas City. Kansas City, the longest winning streak of the major leagues this year. They have won 14 straight going into that one. Here's the first pitch to Stearns. Fastball outside for a ball. Pirates still lead St. Louis 1-0. They're in the bottom half of the 6th at St. Louis, game 1 of their doubleheader. 1-0 pitch, breaking ball is over for a strike called. It's 1-1 to Stearns. Now the 1-1 pitch to John is popped foul out of play. Ball and 2 strikes to Stearns with 1 out. Wind up by Lurch, the 1-2 pitch, curveball, didn't miss by much. A little bit high, it's 2-2. Cubs got a run at Montreal in the first inning. Bill Bonham against Wayne Twitchell. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Very high for a ball, a full count to Stearns. The 3-2 pitch to him, high ball 4, he walked him. Stearns is a base runner with 1 out. That'll bring on Luis Rosado, the first baseman. Rosado is 1 for 8 since joining the Mets from Tidewater. He got that hit in last night's game and scored the only run of the game. John Stearns at first base and 1 out. The pitch to Rosado is fouled on the right field side, well out of play. 1 strike to count to Luis Rosado, just 21 years old. He had 263 at Tidewater this year with 9 homers. Phillies lead 1-0. We're in the second. Big lead by Stearns. The pitch swing and a foul back, and Lurch has the jump on Rosado. 0-2. Randy's won 8, lost 5. He has no decisions against New York in 3 starts. There's the 2-strike pitch, swing, and a looping foul down the left field side. It's out of play. Stays 0-2 to Rosado. Now the stretch by Lurch. The 2-strike pitch, fastball high. It's 1-2. Birthday wishes tonight to Ace Channel 17 cameraman Billy Egbert. Lurch ready. Here's the stretch. Throw to first base. High throw off the glove of Hebner. Moving up to second base is Stearns. Randy Lurch, just kind of a lob toss, but he threw it away. It'll be an error on Lurch, and Stearns moves up to second base. Bob Boone out to talk to Randy Lurch. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Luis Rosado. Stearns now at second base. There's a stretch by Randy Lurch. 1-2 pitch, swing, and a hard ground ball. Base hit down the left field line, going to the corner. John Stearns rounding third. He will score. Rosado at second with a stand-up double. So the Mets are tied at 1 on a sharply hit ground ball down the left field line by Luis Rosado. He's at second base with 1 out. Score tied at 1. It'll bring up Leo Foster. Foster hitting at .218. He's hit safely in 5 straight games. Pitch to him. Fastball is top foul out of play. Let's pause here for station identification along the Phillies Baseball Network.
At 7:59, this is KYW Philadelphia. AccuWeather says considerable cloudiness, more humid tonight and tomorrow with a couple of showers. Currently, cloudy and 64 degrees in Independence Mall.
Here's the 1-strike pitch to Foster, and it's low and inside for a ball. 1-1 the count to Leo Foster. 1-1 ball game. We're in the second inning. Rosado at second base and 1 out. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a bouncing foul off the plate. Ball and 2 strikes to Leo Foster. Rosado at second base, 1 down, a run in. Stretch by Lurch. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball is high. It's 2-2. Lurch at the belt. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a pop foul. Bob Boone giving chase. He's going to run out of room. Goes behind the New York Mets dugout.
And the count will stay at 2-2 to Leo Foster. Phillies will be in St. Louis tomorrow night. Take on the Cardinals tomorrow night, Saturday afternoon and Sunday afternoon. All of those games will be on both the Phillies radio and television networks. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Blowing inside for a ball. It's a full count to Leo Foster. 3-2 pitch to him, swinging a ground ball, deep short, backhanded ball, long throw. He got him by a fraction of a step. Fine play by Larry Ball. Foster nipped by a fraction of a stride.
Well, that was a good play. Didn't look like Boa had a chance. When the ball was hitting way off there to his right, the long throw, he got something on the throw, just barely got Foster.
That'll bring on the shortstop, Doug Flynn. Flynn batting at 2:08. Rosado's second base and 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Flynn. Swing and a line drive center field. Maddox, a great shoestring catch. Gary Maddox saved a run with a great shoestring catch on a sinking line drive in center field. For the Mets in the second. 1 run in the inning on 1 hit, 1 Philly error, 1 left. And at the end of 1.5, it's Phil's 1, New York 1. Gary Maddox will lead off for the Phillies, bottom half of the second inning, 1-1 ball game. Maddox hitting at 279, made a fine catch to end the top half of this inning. Pitch to him is high for a ball. 1-0 the count to Maddox. 1-0 pitch to Gary is high and inside. It's ball 2, 2-0. Swan was wild in the first inning, walked a pair, cost him a run. Phillies got a run without a hit. Pitch to Maddox is very high. Ball 3, 3-0. Swan is up with everything. Fastball is high and out of the strike zone. Here's the 3-0 pitch. High and inside, ball 4. Walked Maddox on 4 pitches. That's the third walk given up by Craig Swan. It'll bring on Bob Boone. Tony is batting at 280. 3 for 5 this year off Craig Swan. Gary Maddox at first base and nobody out. Here's a stretch by Swan. And the pitch to Boone is high for a ball. What a nothing to count to Boone. Swan has yet to throw a strike in this inning. Now the pitch to Booney, high and inside. Ball 2, it's 2-0. Maddox first base, nobody out. 2-0 to count to Boone. Swan stretches, here's the pitch to Booney, and that's outside. Ball 3, 3-0. 7 straight balls thrown here in the second by Craig Swan. The 3-0 pitch. Almost hit him. Ball 4. The Phillies have their first 2 men on base. Walk number 4 surrendered by Craig Swan.
Rube Walker coming out again, the Mets pitching coach. This is almost it is identical to the first inning when he walked the first 2 batters. In this particular case, however, he didn't throw a strike to either Maddox or Boone.
Fans, here are some instructions for ordering League Championship Series tickets. Fans will be permitted to purchase up to 4 reserve seats for one of the 3 dates, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, October 7th, 8th, or 9th. Fans will not have the option of selecting a specific game. Only letters postmarked after 12:01 a.m. Tuesday, September 20th will be accepted. Only one order per customer with a maximum of 4 tickets per game. Application should be addressed to Phillies Playoffs, Box 7776, Philadelphia 19101. Here's Ted Sizemore, high and inside, almost hit him with it. 9 straight balls thrown by Craig Swan. Maddox at second base, Boone at first base, and nobody out. Here's the 1-0 pitch. High, ball 2, 2-0. When ordering your playoff tickets, make checks payable to Philadelphia Phillies, agent. AGENT. Only certified cashiers, treasurer's checks, or money orders will be accepted. No personal checks. That pitch is over for a strike call. The first strike that Swan has thrown this inning. After 10 straight balls, it's 2-1 to Ted Sizemore. Maddox second base, at first base, Bob Boone. Here's the 2-1 pitch. High, ball 3-1. St. Louis has scored a run in the bottom half of the 6th inning to tie Pittsburgh. At the end of 6, they're 1-1. John Candelaria and Eric Rasmussen in that one. Now the stretch. 3-1 pitch to Ted. High, ball 4. Walked him, and he has walked the bases loaded. 5 walks given up by Swan. Joe Torre has seen enough. Torre is coming out of the dugout, and this will be it for Craig Swan. We have a pitching change for the Mets. Phil's 1, New York 1. We're in the 2nd inning. We'll be back after this brief pause. He has started 4 games. He's won 2 and lost 2, and his earned run mark is 3.86. Randy Lerch will be the first one to face him. Phillies have the bases loaded, nobody out. Craig Swan just could not get his pitches down. So Swan lifted. He did not give up a hit. He has given up 1 run, walked the bases loaded here in the 2nd. He was wild, and Joe Torre finally went to get him. In 1 inning plus, he walked 5 and struck out none. Fan Appreciation Night is always one of the real fun nights of the season, and this year's promises to be one of the best ever. There'll be lots of fun and prizes on Fan Appreciation Night, Saturday, October 1st, when the Phils play the Montreal Expos in the next to the last game of the regular season. Every fan entering the ballpark gets a free Phillies license plate, compliments of the Phils, and your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer. Get your tickets right now for Fan Appreciation Night, Saturday, October 1st, when the Phils play the Montreal Expos. Game time 7:35. Well, Myrick is ready to go. Randy Lerch standing in. Lerch with a chance to help himself, bottom half of the 2nd. 1-1 ball game. Phillies have the bases loaded on Watts and nobody out. Lerch batting in 160. 2 extra base hits. They have both been doubles. He's knocked in 4 runs. Mets playing their infield at double play depth. The pitch to Randy is a fastball high for a ball. 1-0 the count to Randy Lerch. Gary Maddox at third, Bob Boone at second, Ted Sizemore at first. They all walk. 1-0 pitch. Fastball is over for a strike called. It's 1-1. Ball on the strike to Randy Lerch. Myrick's 1-1 pitch, breaking ball, foul back out of play, and he has the jump on Lerch. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bob Myrick goes after the rosin bag. Now the left-hander ready. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a foul ball. Chased a low curve ball, but he got a piece of his bat on it and fouled it back. Phase 1 and 2 to Lerch. Bases jammed, nobody out. 2nd inning. Stretch by Myrick.
1-2 pitch. Fastball in the dirt. A good block by John Stern. And it's 2-2 to Randy. Here's the stretch. 2-2 pitch. Fastball laced to left field for a base hit. Gary Maddox scores. Boone will hold at third base. Randy lurched at first with a solid line single to left. Phillies lead it by a score of 2-1. Lurch knocks in his 5th run of the year.
He hit a pretty good pitch, too, that fastball down and away. And the Phillies lead 2-1, and still nobody out, bases loaded.
That'll bring on Bake McBride. Bake walked his first time up, stole second, stole third, scored on a sacrifice fly. Phillies lead at 2-1. That's the Phillies' first hit. Craig Swan was wild. He loaded the bases with walks here in the second. Boone at third base, Sizemore at second, Lurch at first. Here's the pitch to Bake. Low for a ball. 1-0 to count to McBride. Myrick stretches. 1-0 pitch. Check swing foul off his bat and into the New York Met dugout. Ball on the strike to count to Bake McBride. Myrick stretches. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss at a sharp breaking slider. A ball and 2 strikes to Bake. Phillies lead 2-1. We're in the bottom half of the second inning. One-two pitch. Another breaking ball, swing and a miss. He struck him out. McBride chased the low breaking ball, and he goes down swinging. That's 1 down in the second. That'll bring on Larry Boy. He walked his first time up. Myrick is 24 years old, comes out of Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Bob will be 25 October 1st. Graduate of Mississippi State. Here's the pitch to Boa. Swing and a fly ball right field. Drifting back, Mike Vail. Vail makes the catch, tagging and scoring easily is Bob Boone. Sizemore moves to third. Phillies lead it 3-1. They'll give Boa a sacrifice fly and a run batted in. Boone scoring for Larry Boa, his 40th. Here. 2 outs, Philly runners at first and third. And that'll bring up Mike Schmidt, who hit a sacrifice fly to knock in the Phillies' first run. Phillies lead at 3-1. Ed Sizemore at third, Randy Lurch at first. Here's the pitch to Schmidt, a curveball on the inside corner for a strike call. 1 strike to Schmidt. There's a stretch by Myrick. And the pitch to Mike, another curveball, low and inside. It's 1-1. Myrick at the belt. 1-1 pitch, another breaking ball on the inside corner at the knees for a called strike. Schmidt not too happy with the call. Myrick has the jump on Mike, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Philly runners at the corners, Sizemore at third, Lurch at first, 2 out. 1-2 pitch. Fastball is low. Myrick thought it might have been there. 2-2 to Mike Schmidt.
Phillies have scored 3 runs in the game on only 1 hit. Craig Swan, the starter, was wild. He walked 5. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball grounded down the third baseline. Long throw for Lenny Randall, just in time to get Schmidt. And the Phillies are retired in the second. Phillies scored 2 in the inning on 1 hit. No errors and 2 left. And at the end of 2, it's 3-1 Phils. And now time for a tasty break. This is Harry Callis, and I'll be hosting a hadn't-traveled trip to the French island of Guadeloupe in the Caribbean at the peak of the winter season. The price, $359 complete. Now, here's what that price includes. February 5th departure on a round-trip jet flight from Philadelphia. 7 nights at a first-class beachfront hotel. Transfers, baggage handling, gratuities, and taxes. All this for $359 complete. Forget shoveling snow in February. Join me in Guadeloupe on February 5th. Bill Weber will also host the same trip on February 26th. For a free brochure in Pennsylvania, call WA3-6663. In New Jersey, 795-5550. Or write to Haddon Travel, Box 5550, Cherry Hill, New Jersey, 08002. Third inning baseball. For more play-by-play, here's Andy Musser.
Thanks, Harry. And the first batter is Bob Myrick, who goes high out of the strike zone to chase a fastball, strike 1. Myrick is a right-handed batter, though he's a left-handed pitcher. Here's a curveball. He tries to check his swing. And he does, he does not, so that's a strike. No balls and 2 strikes. Myrick has 1 hit and 8 times up this year. Here's Lurch's 0-2 pitch. It's a fastball grounded to second base. Sizemore has it, and he throws him out. Myrick grounds out to start the third inning. That's 1 away, and the batter is switch hitting Lenny Randall. Phils lead the ball game 3-1. 2 of the runs scoring on sacrifice fly RBIs. Randall flied out to Luzinski as the leadoff batter in the ball game. Mets are having a good road trip. They have won 4 of the 6 games on this trip so far. They've actually won 4 of their last 5. Of course, it's been a bleak season for the Mets. They're in last place in the East, and they've never won more than 4 games in a row. Pitch on the way to Randall. It's really drilled into left center field. Nobody's going to catch this one. It bounces on 1 hop high off the wall in left center, and Randall goes standing to second base with a double. He really drilled that to left center field.
Hit a slider. Looks like he was looking for it and timed it perfectly. Little guy has pretty decent power.
The Mets have 2 hits, and they have both been doubles. Here's another switch hitter, Lee Mazzilli. Phillies lead the ball game 3-1. Mazzilli tapped back to the mound in his first try. Mazzilli has had a great on-base percentage lately. In the last 14 games, he's been on base 27 times. The pitch to him is a breaking ball, fouled away over top the Phillies dugout, strike 1. Phillies will be leaving right after the ball game by charter aircraft for St. Louis. And 3 games against the Cardinals this weekend, then right back to play the Chicago Cubs here beginning Tuesday night. The 1-strike pitch is a changeup high. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out in the inning with Randall at second base. Now the 1-1 pitch to Mazzilli. It's low, and the ball gets away from Boone, and on his way to third base is Randall. Probably be a wild pitch. So with 1 out, the Mets get a runner at third base. They trail the ball game 3-1.
I believe they'll change that. That ball was bounced up there in the dirt. Couldn't expect Booney to feel those cleanly all the time.
They've ruled it a pass ball. Here is a 1-hopper knocked down by Lurch. He can't get it. Sizemore does, and he throws out Mazzilli on a close play, but scoring is Lenny Randall. And it's a 3-2 ball game. Mazzilli will get an RBI, and that'll go 1-4-3. So the Mets have scored a run in the inning. There are 2 outs. Base is now empty, and Steve Henderson will bat. struck him out his first time up, the only strikeout that Randy has tonight. Been a strange ball game. 5 runs have been scored, but there's only been 3 hits. A breaking ball to Henderson is high. Henderson's average right at 300. Certainly he is in the battle for Rookie of the Year. Probably will get stiff competition from Andre Dawson of the Montreal Expos. There's a ball fouled away off the right side. 1 ball and 1 strike. Phillies will surpass last year's attendance mark tonight, and they'll have 7 home dates remaining to set a new record. High outside a ball, 2-1 the count to Steve Henderson. 3 dates in that Chicago series and 4 dates coming up against the Montreal Expos to end the regular season. 2-1 the count to right-handed batting Henderson. Here's Lurch's next pitch. It's a fastball in the dirt, 3-1. Randy has no lifetime record against the Mets. Came out of 3 previous starts with no decisions this year. Here's a pitch that catches the inside corner. The count is full, 3-2 to Henderson. Though Randy didn't get a decision, Phillies won 2 of those 3 previous games he started against New York. There's the full count pitch to Henderson. Swing and a ground ball chopped toward shortstop. Boa gets it behind the bag and throws him out. Close play, but he made it. And the inning is over. The Mets get 1 run on 1 hit, nobody left. At the end of 2 1/2, Phils lead it 3-2. While the weather's still right, help keep your roof in tip-top shape with MAB Roof Coating. Regularly priced at $10.25, it's yours for just $7.75. You save $2.50. Or take care of the damage to your driveway with MAB Blacktop Surfacer. Regularly priced at $9.75, it's yours for just $7.75. You save $2. For details, see this Thursday's bulletin. And see your nearest MAB paint store dealer or Rich Lux Home Center the next time you think about beautifying your home.
You want it, we've got it. At your Chrysler Plymouth deal.
We've got the best deal of the year on the beautiful 1977 Cordoba. I'm Harry Callis, and if you've been waiting for the smart time to buy the stylish, luxurious, pace-setting Cordoba, that time is now. And the place is your nearest Chrysler Plymouth dealer. Now you get a great year-end deal and beat the 78 price increase, too. Get the best 77 deal on your Cordoba at your nearest Chrysler Plymouth dealers today.
Do you want to serve fine quality meat? Then listen to shoppers who buy Acme's Lancaster brand.
Quality, fresh, always fresh. I never had trouble with it yet. What can I say? They're tastier. I like them better. A nicer, fresher taste. The meat look nicer and they taste better.
Well, I've never had a tough piece of meat from here, and we just enjoy it.
You'll find there's more to like than just the price when you buy Lancaster brand meat, sold only at Acme Super Saver.
Greg Luzinski leading off the third for the Phillies takes low, ball 1. Myrick's next pitch is a ground ball back of second, and it goes through for a base hit. Shortstop Flynn came over, looked for a moment like he might have made that play. That'll be a single for Greg Luzinski, and that's the second hit for the Phillies. Bull starts the third inning with a base hit through the middle. The batter is Richie Hebner. Hebner grounded out to first baseman Luis Rosado in his first at-bat. Myrick is 24 years of age, still considered a rookie. Got his first victory against the Phillies last year on the 27th of July. There's a pop-up, maybe playable on the left side of the infield. Lenny Randall drifting into foul ground, takes it in the coach's box for the out. On one pitch, Hebner fouls out to third base. Let's pause for station identification, the Phillies Baseball Network.
At 8:28, this is KYW Philadelphia. AccuWeather says considerable cloudiness overnight with a couple of brief showers. Currently 63 degrees and cloudy on Independence Mall.
Gary Maddox, the batter for the Phillies. Gary walked and scored in the second inning. Left-hander Myrick stretches. Here's the pitch to Gary, and it's in the air to right field. Moving a few steps to his right is Vail, and he catches it for out number 2. So Hebner and Maddox have both been retired on one pitch each, and Bob Boone will bat. Scoring change last inning changed the pass ball to a wild pitch. Boone walked and scored in the second. Bob batting at .280, hitting .298 against New York pitching over his career. Fastball to Bob is low, ball 1. Myrick has only one lifetime decision against the Phillies, and that was that victory he got last July. There's a strike on the corner, 1 ball and 1 strike to Boone. Bob is 3 for 5 earlier this year batting against Myrick. Pitch on the way to Boone is fouled off down the right side. 1-2 the count to Boone. Bob has knocked in 53 runs for the Phillies this year. Last year he knocked in 54. The 1-2 pitch to him is a fly ball into left center field. Mazzilli is coming. Henderson's making the call, and Henderson, the left fielder, stays with it for the out. He and Mazzilli almost collided. So for the Phillies in the third, no runs, 1 hit, and 1 left. At the end of 3, Phil's lead it 3-2.
You want it, we got it, at your Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
We've got the best Volare values of 77 now. I'm Harry Callis, and I thought Volare was a good value before, but now it's a great value. All 3 models, coupe, sedan, and the #1 selling wagon in America, have great year-end deals, just in time to beat the 78 price increase. Get the best 77 deal on your Volare at your local Chrysler Plymouth dealers today. A lot of people think that the only way to get a personal loan is to prove that you don't need the money, but that's just not true. At least not true at Girard. At Girard, you can get a personal loan for just about anything. To go on vacation, to buy furniture and appliances, to send your kids to college, or to consolidate your debts. Girard's low bank rates for personal loans will hold down your monthly payments. The way Girard figures it, if they make it easy for you to get a personal loan, they should also make it easy for you to repay the loan.
Have you noticed? Sometimes you can be feeling hot and draggy, limp as week-old lettuce, and that's when you would enjoy Coke most. Brisk and bright and frosty cold. One icy swallow and things begin to take on a fresher look, for nothing cools you off and satisfies your thirst more pleasantly than the great taste of Coke. Give it a try right now. You'll find that delicious ice-cold Coca-Cola adds life to hot weather sports, hot weather food, and hot weather fun.
The Mets' 4th inning starts with Mike Vail, a right-handed batter who lined out to right fielder Bake McBride in his first at-bat. Pirates got 3 runs in the 7th inning. They lead St. Louis 4-1 at the end of 7. Vail cuts a foul, strike 1. John Candelaria pitching against Eric Rasmussen. That's the first end of a doubleheader. They were rained out there last night. Montreal 2-1 over Chicago at the end of 2.5. Bill Bonham against Wayne Twitchell. A breaking ball is grounded to third base. Schmidt gets a big hop, makes the throw across in time, and Vail is out. 1 away in the 4th, and John Stearns comes to the plate. The Dodgers' magic number is 4. They lost to the Reds last night. They'll play again tonight. Atlanta plays at San Diego, and this afternoon Houston beat San Francisco 6-3. Stearns, a right-handed batter who got on a base on balls. The fastball is over for a strike. Breaking ball to Stearns is high. Toronto has just come up with 4 runs in the 4th to lead Baltimore 4-0. Ross Grimsley against Jim Clancy. Swing and a foul to the screen. Red Sox scored a run. They lead the Yankees 1-0. Last half of the 2nd inning, Louis Tiant against Mike Torres. Oakland 4-1 over Kansas City at the end of 3.5. Stearns, swing and a miss. He strikes out. Second strikeout for Randy Lurch. 2 down in the 4th inning with nobody on. And Luis Rosado will hit. He doubled and knocked in a run as a batter in the 2nd inning. At Chicago tonight, The Twins will go with Jeff Zahn. The White Sox will go with Steve Stone. Rosado takes high, ball one. California, Texas. Canario will pitch for the Angels. Nellie Briles for Texas. Rosado shoots a foul hard just beyond the right field picnic area. 1 ball, 1 strike. Got his first major league hit here last night. Tonight he picks up his first RBI in the big leagues. Rosado batted .273 at Tidewater this year. Chunky first baseman. Here's the 1-1 pitch to him, and he fouls another one back. Phillies lead on the scoreboard 3-2. Each team has had 2 hits so far. There's just been 4 hits in the ball game. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Rosado. It's a fastball inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Randy ready. Here's his 2-2 delivery. It's high and outside on a fastball. Full count to Rosado. Tomorrow night at St. Louis, Jim Lonborg for the Phillies, John Denny for the Cardinals. The Saturday afternoon matchup is a good one. Larry Christensen against Tommy Underwood. There's a foul by Rosado. And the probables for Sunday, Jim Cott for the Phillies and Bob Forsch for St. Louis. He's 17-6. All those games from St. Louis will be on both the Phil's radio and television networks. Again, the full count pitch, and here is a drive into right center field. It falls for a base hit. McBride over to cut it off, and Rosado has his second straight hit. He's 2 for 2 tonight. Mets get a runner with 2 outs, and Leo Foster will bat. Larry Bowa made a great play on Foster in his first at bat. Leo grounding one to deep shortstop, and Larry had a long throw, and he got it there in time. Pitch to Foster is chopped off the plate back toward the mound. Lurch grabs it, throws to first base. It's in time, and the inning is over. Mets in the 4th, no runs, 1 hit, and 1 left, and at the end of 3.5, Phillies lead at 3-2. Now time for a tasty break. Sizemore to start the 4th inning for the Phillies. He tries to bunt, but it goes foul over into the Phillies dugout. Strike 1. Size walked in his first at bat tonight. That was the 2nd inning when starter Craig Swan walked the bases loaded, and Sizemore was the last man he pitched to. So Sizemore taking a look at left-hander Bob Myrick for the first time. Here's the 1-strike pitch to him. Swing and a foul back to the screen. Myrick ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Sizemore, Lurch, who drove in a run, and Bake McBride to bat for the Phillies in the 4th. Phil's on top 3-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and Size has to back off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Phillies came into the ball game having been shut out 19 straight innings, but they scored in the first. There's a little pop-up in the infield. It's going to be an easy play for somebody. It's the second baseman, Foster, who grabs it for the out. And Sizemore is retired. Size has now gone 0 for his last 19. 1 away in the 4th, and here's Randy Lurch, who singled sharply to left field with the bases loaded, driving in a run for the Phillies and scoring the only run the Phillies have scored on a base hit. The other 2 runs have been driven home on sacrifice flies. There's the left-hander's pitch to him, and it's a fastball on the inside corner, strike 1. Randy's batting .176, and he has driven in 5 runs. Here's a slider on the outside corner, no balls and 2 strikes. Bob Myrick in relief of starter Craig Swan. Here's the next pitch. It's low and outside, 1-2. Last time the Phillies lost back-to-back ball games here at home, you have to go back to the middle of May, the 17th and the 18th. That's a long time ago. There's a foul chopped off the plate. Count holds at 1-2. Pirates did not get any further runs in the 8th inning. They lead that ball game over St. Louis 4-1. Cards batting in the last of the 8th inning. In the first of 2 at St. Louis. Just a little high. 2 balls and 2 strikes for Randy Lurch. Here's Myrick's 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He went for a low outside pitch. Tried to check his swing at the last minute. Couldn't do it. Myrick gets his second strikeout. 2 outs in the fourth inning. Here's Bake McBride. Bake was the other strikeout for Myrick after Bake had walked, stole 2 bases, and scored in the first inning. Last night, Bake had 2 of the 3 hits that the Phillies were able to get off Nino Espinosa. Hebner had the other one. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Here's Myrick's next pitch. It's high, 1 ball and 1 strike. We want to send along birthday greetings today to Ollie Brown's young son. He's only 10 years old. Players nicknamed him Midtown when he was on a recent trip. His name is Troy. Here's a looper into right center field. It drops for a hit. Bake McBride singles into right center, and that's hit number 3 off Myrick. McBride at first with 2 outs for the Phillies. He's already stolen a pair of bases tonight. And Larry Boa, still officially 0 for 0 at the plate. He has walked, stolen a base, and then knocked in a run on a sacrifice fly. Phillies lead at 3-2. Boa batting .270, facing Myrick as a right-handed batter. The pitch to him. Swing and a foul down the right side, strike 1. Myrick makes a throw to first base. It's not in time to get McBride. Bake stole his 2 bases when Craig Swan was pitching. There's another throw to first, and again, Bake steps back easily. He was picked off here last night by Espinosa. Pitch to the plate, and it's popped up. Shallow right field. Going to be a long run for somebody. Foster is over there. Right fielder Vail is there. They don't get it. They collide, and the ball went off of one of their gloves, but it's a foul ball. McBride had come all the way around third. He will be sent back. The ball is a foul all the way, and it looks like Mike Vail got the worst of that collision.
Well, Vail's on his feet. Foster was down. He lost his glasses. He's all right, I believe. There was some contact, but it was kind of a glancing type blow that Foster received. So Boa gets a life. Somebody probably should have caught that ball, either Vail or Foster. Foster may have maybe cut a little bit on his forehead.
Western Union has just sent over a note here. Toronto leading Baltimore 4-0, and time has been called. Argument between Weaver and umpire. Orioles manager. So second baseman Leo Foster is coming in holding a handkerchief over his left eye, and we'll see whether he is to resume in the ball game or whether the Mets are going to replace him. Boston leads New York 1-0 there at the end of 2.5 innings. Louis Tiant against Mike Torres. Russ Grimsley and Jim Clancy in that Baltimore-Toronto game. Oakland 4-2 over Kansas City. They finished 5 innings of the first end of their doubleheader. The Royals have won 14 straight games. Joel Youngblood is coming out to play at second base for New York. Clyde Abreu pitching in that game for Oakland. Andy Hassler for Kansas City. So it's Joel Youngblood at second base for the Mets now instead of Leo Foster. Larry Boa gets a new life. There was no error on that play. No balls and 2 strikes on Larry as his foul pop fly dropped. Myrick ready to go to work. There goes McBride. The pitch to Boa, foul back. Fake will have to go back, and the count remains 0-2 on Boa. Phillies lead the ball game 3-2. Phillies scored 1 in the first, 2 more in the second. Though they had a hit in the third, they didn't score. And they've got a 2-out runner here in the fourth. Myrick ready, but he makes a throw to first base. McBride is back. Left-hander stretches again, a throw to first base. McBride back in time. 0-2, the count to Boa. Pitch on the way to Larry. Line drive to center field. Base hit. McBride will go to second. Runners at first and second with 2 down. Strong single to center field by Boa. That's the fourth hit for the Phillies. Oddly enough, they've gotten them all off Myrick. Though they drove Craig Swan from the ball game. Actually, he drove himself out with his wildness. He walked 5. Here's Mike Schmidt. Mike has an RBI on a sacrifice fly, a line drive to left field, and he has grounded out to third base. Mike batting .273. McBride at second, Boa at first with 2 away. Myrick at the belt. Here's his pitch. High and outside, ball 1. Final meeting of the year between these clubs. The Phils have dominated the series, winning 12 of the 17 thus far. The 1-0 pitch to Mike. Tried to check his swing. Couldn't do it. It's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. One and 1 to Mike Schmidt as the Phillies bat in the 4th inning. Myrick stretches, fastball, swing and a miss. Got a piece of it. It was held by Stearns. 1 ball and 2 strikes. If Schmidt comes through, Greg Luzinski is on deck. Myrick has his sign from Stearns. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Schmidt. Hard hit ball into deep right field. Vail is back. He watches from the warning track. It is gone. A 3-run homer for Mike Schmidt. And the Phillies have finally busted out of it here in the 4th inning as they add 3 runs and lead this ball game 6-2.
Schmidt with 4 runs batted in this ball game now. 35th homer, high outside fastball. Took it out of the park in right field.
Homers for a case of tasty cake, and the Phillies lead it by 4 runs. Phillies have half their runs off Swan and half their runs off Myrick. Here's Greg Luzinski, and the pitch is high, ball 1. Next pitch misses. It's 2 balls and no strikes. It's Mike Schmidt's first home run here at Veterans Stadium since the 31st of July. So it's been 6 weeks since Schmidt has homered here. Here's a strike on the inside corner to the bowl. 2 balls and 1 strike. Greg is 1 for 2 tonight. Flied out to center field and single to center. Phillies lead it 6-2. Here's a changeup, but it's high. 2-1. 3-1, I should say. 3 balls and 1 strike to Luzinski. Myrick winds. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Full count to Greg Luzinski. Phillies had not hit any home runs in their last 3 ball games. Here's the full count pitch to the ball. Drive to left field on a base hit. Luzinski shingles sharply to left field, and the Phillies have their 4th hit of the inning.
4th hit in a row after 2 easy outs. And the Mets bullpen going into action again.
Rick Baldwin is warming up for the Mets as Richie Hebner comes to the plate. Hebner is 0 for 2. He grounded to first and he fouled to third. Hebner had the only hit that the Phillies had last night, aside from McBride's 2 against Nino Espinosa. A check of Luzinski and a swing and a miss by Hebner, strike one. So the Phillies have scored in every inning tonight except the third. The one strike to Hebner, curveball, swing and a miss. Myrick ahead of Hebner 0-2. Richie batting at .287. Prior to last night's ball game, Hebner hadn't played in about a week. The 0-2 pitch is a ball hit in the air to center field. Just a few steps to his left goes Mazzilli, and he takes it for the out. So the inning is over, but the Phillies get 3 runs on 4 hits, nobody left on base, and at the end of 4, the Phillies lead them at 6-2. Correction in the totals. Last inning, the Phillies left 1 man on base, and they've left 5 for the ball game. We're going to the 5th inning now, and for play-by-play, here's Rich Ashburn.
Thank you, Andy. Doug Flynn, the batter, takes a pitch outside, ball 1. He was robbed of a base hit his last time up on a shoestring catch by Gary Maddox. Ball 1 to count to Flynn. He's hitting .207. Lurch with a pitch. Fly ball right field in the corner. McBride going back and makes the catch. Great play by Babe McBride out there. He caught the ball right on the chalk line on the dead run. So Doug Flynn has been robbed of base hits twice tonight. 1 down. Roy Steger is going to bat for pitcher Bob Myrick. Steger batting .231. He's been kind of lost in the shuffle with the Mets since manager Joe Torre took over. Been used mostly as a pinch hitter. Lurch winds. The first pitch to Steger is outside, ball 1. Phillies lead 6-2. Red Sox lead the Yankees 1-0 in the 4th. Strike called to Steger on a fastball. Lurch with a pitch, swing and a miss. The next Tasty Cake Baseball Forum will be Wednesday night, September 21st. Chance for you gals to meet and ask questions of a Phillies player and his wife. That'll be Barry and Susan Foote. Foul ball off the bat of Steger, and I think he might have broken his bat. That baseball forum, September 21st, a Wednesday night at 6:15 p.m. on the 200-level concourse behind the left field picnic area. Larry and Sheena Boa on last Wednesday night. Good turnout. Ball 1, strike 2 to Roy Steger. Swing and a miss. Lurch strikes him out. Third strikeout for Lurch. 2 down. The batter will be the leadoff hitter, Lenny Randall. He's doubled and flied out. He's also scored a run. Randall hitting .299. 2 outs and nobody on here in the top of the 5th. Phillies lead at 6-2. First pitch to Randall. Fly ball left field. Luzinski to his left makes the catch. Randall out on 1 pitch, and the Mets are down in order. Phillies batting in the home 5th. They lead 6-2.
Armand Serratano for Hilton Inn. You know, last year, I fell in love with the Phillies. All year, they give me so many moments of joy. When I love something, I want to be next to it. I want to be as close as I can. So they wouldn't sell me a piece of land in a parking lot to build my house. I bought the Hilton Inn, right next to the stadium. So they can drink my wine, they can eat my food, and we can get together after the game. Will you please join us and share a glass of wine?
Ali is really feeling good at Geno's. And here's why. Geno's Giant, a burger that tastes as good as it looks. 2 all-beef burgers packed with all the trimmings taken from Ali. Try Geno's Giant. It's the greatest next to me.
New York Mets new pitcher, right-hander Rick Baldwin. Here's an oddity. The Toronto-Baltimore game in Toronto has been forfeited. In favor of Toronto, Baltimore manager Earl Weaver in the 5th inning in an argument with an umpire, and we just got word that the umpires have forfeited that game in favor of the Toronto Blue Jays. And now that's a tough loss for Toronto because they're only 2.5 games back. A tough loss for Baltimore because they're only 2.5 games back of the New York Yankees. Baldwin, first pitch to Gary Maddox, deep fly to right field. Mike Vail back to the warning track and makes the catch. And Maddox is out on 1 pitch. 1 down, the batter will be catcher Bob Boone. That forfeit rule, technically Rule 415, a game may be forfeited to the opposing team when a manager, after warning by the umpire, willfully and persistently violates the rule. Of course, that rule, refusing to continue play. So the umpires in Toronto have forfeited the game to the Toronto Blue Jays. Bob Boone fouls a pitch off, strike 1. Booney's walk scored a run and flied out. He's 0 for 1, batting .279. Baldwin's next pitch is high. Now the count now reads 1 ball, 2 strikes to Booney. Baldwin, a right-hander, fires 1. Boone fouls it off. Pittsburgh leading the Cardinals 4-1 in the 9th inning, first of a doubleheader in St. Louis. Pitch to Boone, outside, 2-2 the count. Baldwin right back. Boone fouls another one into the Phillies dugout. Happy 77th birthday to William Krobluski in Conshohocken. 2-2 pitch to Boone. Look out. Booney had to duck out of the way. Pitch way inside, and the count is full to Boone. Let's pause for station identification on the Phillies Baseball Network.
At 9 o'clock, this is KYW Philadelphia. AccuWeather says considerable cloudiness, more humid with a couple of brief showers tonight or tomorrow. Currently cloudy and 62 degrees on Independence Mall.
Full count to Boone, 1 down. Nobody on base. Phillies lead 6-2 in the bottom of the 5th. Baldwin's pitch. Boone loops one center field. Coming on, Mazzilli makes the catch. 2 down. And the batter will be Ted Sizemore. Teddy's really in a slump. He reached the 299 mark. He's now down to 288. I believe he's what, 0 for 19? 0 for 19. 2 outs and nobody on. Baldwin's pitch. Missed with a fastball. Ball 1 to Sizemore. Right back with the delivery. It's low again. Ball 2. 2-0 the count. Sizemore grounds one foul past third. Happy birthday to Holly Schertzer of Phoenixville, PA. Two-one pitch, grounded deep short. Flynn grabs the ball, a high throw, and Rosado jumps up, makes the tag on Sizemore, and that'll end the inning. As the Phillies go down in order, at the end of 5 full innings, it's a Phil 6. The Mets 2, and now time for a tasty break.
For a tasty cake, great moment in baseball. Hodges sounded in 1951 as he described Bobby Thompson's ninth-inning home run that won the hearts of Giants fans everywhere. Keeping your fans happy is really what it's all about. Tasty Cake knows, and for over 60 years, Tasty Cake has been pleasing crowds with things like family packs of butterscotch, jelly, and lemon cream-filled crimpets. Why not please someone you know with Tasty Cake crimpets? They're all the good things wrapped up in one.
From the KYW newsroom, Philadelphia Teachers Union leaders are still meeting, trying to decide if teachers should honor picket lines set up by striking maintenance employees. 3 jurors have been chosen so far for the second murder trial of former mine workers leader Tony Boyle in media. At a pretrial hearing this morning, Boyle entered a plea of not guilty on charges he conspired to murder insurgent mine workers leader Jock Yablonsky and Yablonsky's wife and daughter. And Budget Director Bert Lance has appeared before the Senate Governmental Affairs Committee. A complete report after the baseball game.
The New York Mets batting here in the top of the 6th. Lee Mazzilli will lead it off. Mazzilli is officially 0 for 2. He has knocked in a run on a ground out. He's hitting .242. It'll be Mazzilli, Henderson, and Vail to face Randy Lurch. Lurch pitched a great ball game his last time out against the St. Louis Cardinals. Pitch to Mazzilli is outside, ball 1. Randy has won 8 and lost 5. He's been involved in a slew of no decisions. Mazzilli a one-hopper to Mike Schmidt. Schmidt grabs it, fires the first, and Mazzilli's out. 1 down here in the 6th inning. The batter will be left fielder Steve Henderson, who's 0 for 2. A strikeout and a ground out. Henderson has gone under the 300 mark, hitless in this series, hitting at .299 now. Phillies have had pretty good luck against Henderson. He's been hitting other clubs pretty well. And Henderson steps out of the batter's box. Lurch ready, winds the first pitch to Henderson. Outside, ball 1. Right back with the next pitch, a swing and a miss. Henderson tried to check, but he went around. Ball 1, strike 1 to Steve Henderson. Phillies scored a run in the first, 2 in the second. Those 3 runs without a hit. Starting pitcher Craig Swan, very wild, walked 5. And then Schmidt hit a 3-run homer in the 4th. Mets with single runs in the 2nd and the 3rd. Pitch to Henderson, swing and a miss. Ball 1, strike 2 to Henderson. Happy anniversary to Liz and Bernie Polsky. And they're out here at the ballpark tonight, celebrating their wedding anniversary. Pitch to Henderson is high. 2-2 the count. Lurch getting his sign from Bob Boone. Wants another pitch. Here it is. High, ball 3, full count now to Henderson. Phils will be in St. Louis this weekend. We'll carry those games for you on both our radio and television networks. Henderson fouls one off and out of play. Count remains at 3-2. Phillies will break their all-time attendance record tonight. All-time attendance record tonight, and a little later in this ball game, they're going to announce a symbolic record breaker fan. 3-2 pitch. Did he swing? Pitch is high, ball 4. Going to get an appeal on the check swing, and first base umpire says no swing. So Henderson walks. He's on first, one out. The batter, right fielder Mike Vail. Vail is 0 for 2, batting .260. Lurch checks a runner at first. Pitch to Vail. Swing and a miss on a good curveball. Strike one to Vail. Red Sox 1, Yankees nothing. Yankees batting in the 4th. Yankees trying to sweep that series. Here's a line drive hit at Sizemore. He grabs the ball, fires the first. Too late to get Henderson. Hebner got hit on both shins with that ball. He was kind of blocked off by the base runner, and Vail lines out. 2 down. Henderson at first, and the batter will be catcher John Stearns. Stearns has walked, scored a run, and struck out. Stearns officially 0 for 1 in the night. First pitch to Stearns is low, ball 1. Evidently, that forfeit in Toronto was over a dispute involving a tarpaulin covering the pitcher's mound in the left field bullpen. I don't know how you could argue about that, but Earl Weaver did, and it cost him the ball game. Pitch to Stearns is low. 2-0 the count. Lurch ready again. Fastball over for a called strike. That'll put the Orioles 3 games back of the Yankees. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Stearns. Fly ball center field. Easy play for Gary Maddox. Gary under the ball makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. No runs, no hits, 1 left on. Phillies batting in the home 6. They lead 6-2.
If you need an all change oil, put it in for the spark plug, shock absorber, carburetor, alternator, generator, muffler, brake shoes, brake mounting, brake fluid, antifreeze, thermostat, point condenser.
Or if you need motor oil, get Quaker State now at Penn Jersey Auto Stores, because we're selling America's best-selling motor oil for less. Quaker State has oil for cars, boats, cycles, lawnmowers, trucks, and just about anything with a motor. So,
take a pit stop at Penn Jersey Auto Stores.
Did you realize it's now possible to live in a more expensive neighborhood without having to move? So if you're thinking of fixing up the old house instead of moving to a new one, Girard Bank can fix you up with a home improvement loan. You see, Girard thinks home improvements are a wise investment, and they have money to lend for just about any idea you have in mind. New roof, adding on a room, remodeling, and of course insulation. So before you fix up your home, let Girard Bank fix you up with a loan. Apply at any Girard Bank office.
Okay, it's time for another Daily News home run payoff, the game that puts the Phillies at bat to win you $10,000. That's right, $10,000, because the Daily News has extended the big double payoff. If your name is called and a Philly homers this inning, you'll win $2,000, or $10,000 if it's a grand slam, but you have to play to win. To put yourself in the ball game, use the entry coupon appearing every day in the Daily News. Enter now while you can still win up to $10,000. Randy Lurch will lead it off here in the 6th inning. He's swinging for $2,000 for Josephine Maglio, South Carlisle Street in Philadelphia. Lurch has a hit on the night. He's officially 1 for 2. Baldwin ready with the first pitch to Randy Lurch. Ground ball hit hard to first. Rosado grabs it on a good play, steps in the bag, and Lurch is out on 1 pitch. will send 4 reserve seat tickets along to Josephine Maglio here in Philadelphia. Hank McBride, the batter, swinging for $2,000 for Alfred E. Lomax, Addison Street in Philadelphia. McBride batting .319 is officially 1 for 2 tonight with a walk and a single. He's also struck out. Bake has stolen 2 bases and scored 2 runs. Baldwin's first pitch to McBride. Inside, ball 1. Bake swinging for $2,000 for Alfred Lomax here in Philadelphia. Next pitch to McBride. Slow grounder towards first. Rosado grabs it, flips to Baldwin, and McBride is out on a very close play. Good play there by Rosado and Baldwin. So Bake's out. 2 away. Will send 4 reserve seat tickets along to Alfred E. Lomax in Philadelphia. 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 6th, and the batter is Larry Boa. Phillies arguing at first base. Tony Taylor and Bake McBride arguing with umpire Terry Tatum. But 2 down, nobody on. Boa the batter. Boa is 1 for 1 officially with a single, a run batted in. He's hitting .271. He swings and misses at the first pitch. He's swinging for $2,000 for Avery Patrick, North Bevere Street here in Philadelphia. The 1-strike pitch by Baldwin. Fly ball, right field, base hit. Might be extra bases. Boa rounding first, digging for second. Bale's throw is wide, and Boa's in with a stand-up double. Boa with a second hit of the ball game, a double, will send 4 reserve seat tickets along to Avery Patrick here in Philadelphia, and the batter is Mike Schmidt. Boa's had a good night. A single, a double, a walk, a sacrifice fly, a run batted in, and he scored a run. Mike Schmidt, the batter, swinging for Edward Gramling, Brenner Street here in Philadelphia. Mike would hit a home run. Edward Gramling would win $2,000. Schmidt has hit a 3-run homer in the game already. He's knocked in 4 runs already. First pitch to Schmidt is low, ball 1. Mike batting .275 as he steps in. Boa's at second, 2 outs. The Phillies lead 6-2, bottom of the 6th. Schmidt fouls one back, and the count is 1-1. So the Phils are getting some hits, and they're scoring some runs. They got some early help from the Mets on a pile of walks. Boa takes a long lead off second base. Ball 1, strike 1 to Schmidt. Baldwin ready with a pitch. Schmidt takes it outside. 2-1 the count. If he gets on, Lazinski will bat. Rick Baldwin checks the runner at second. 2-1 pitch. Schmidt fouls it off and out of play, and the count is 2-2. Something's happening in St. Louis. They've been out a long time. The Pirates batting in the 9th, the last we saw, leading in that game 4-1. Two-two pitch to Schmitty. Did he swing? Check swing, maybe. Yes, it is. And the count is full to Schmidt. Pitch a little outside. Boa's on second, 2 outs. Phillies lead 6-2 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Mike Schmidt swinging for $2,000 for Edward Gramling here in Philadelphia. There goes Boa. Here's a fly ball, center field, playable. Mazzilli in a couple of steps. Under the ball, makes the catch. Schmidt is out, and that'll end the inning. We'll send 4 reserve seat tickets along to Edward Gramling here in Philadelphia. At the end of 6 full innings, the Phillies lead the Mets 6-2.
It's always nice when somebody finds a way to make life simpler for you, which is just what Girard Bank has done with George, your 24-hour banking machine. George can handle most any banking transaction you'd ordinarily stand in line to have a teller perform. Best of all, George can do this for you 24 hours a day, every day of the year. Since there are now 23 of these handy machines, you can bank at almost any Girard Bank office and be no further away from George than 15 minutes. George, a nice way to make life easier for yourself.
If you need an oil change, oil filter, air filter, spark plug, shock absorber, carburetor, alternator, generator, muffler, brake shoes, brake lining, brake fluid, antifreeze, thermostat, point condenser.
Or if you need motor oil, get Quaker State now at Penn Jersey Auto Stores because they're selling America's best-selling motor oil for less. Quaker State has oil for cars, boats, cycles, lawnmowers, trucks, just about anything with a motor. So,
make a pit stop at Penn Jersey Auto Stores.
Join Jay Johnstone in a trip to Paradise, Hawaii. Join Jay on a Haddon travel trip leaving Philadelphia on November 28th. Fly a scheduled United Airlines jet. Stay in deluxe hotels in Honolulu, Kona, and Hilo. 10 days in Hawaii for just $685, and that includes breakfast and dinner every day in Honolulu. For a free brochure, call Haddon Travel. In Philadelphia, Walnut 36663. In New Jersey, 795-5550. Join the Jaybird in Hawaii, leaving November 28th. And join Andy Musser here for the 7th inning.
Thank you, Rich. And Luis Rosado is the batter for New York. He's the only batter that Lurch has not been able to retire. Here's a curveball in the dirt, his second pitch. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Rosado doubled and drove home a run in the second. He singled his last time up. Pitch to the right-handed batter is fouled away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. He'll be followed by Joel Youngblood, who will be getting his first at bat, and then Doug Flynn. Lurch winds. Here's the 1-2 pitch, high and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Randy has 3 complete games this year, all 3 against the St. Louis Cardinals. Here's his 2-2 delivery to Rosado. Swing and a foul back to the screen. He chased a high pitch. Rosado is a chunky first baseman who spent the year at Tidewater, where he had 8 home runs and drove home 59 runs for the Tides. 2-2 pitches on the way. It's high and a full count. Lurch has walked only 2 batters tonight, and he has struck out 3. Here's the pitch to Rosado again. He goes for a high pitch and fouls it back. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Been a long year for the Mets. They only have 58 victories, and they've been in last place in the East for a long time. Low ball 4. And the Mets start the 7th inning as Rosado gets on for the 3rd straight time in this ball game. That'll bring up Joel Youngblood. He came into the ball game defensively at second base after Leo Foster suffered a cut over his left eye. He and right fielder Vail had collided going after a foul fly ball. Youngblood is hitting at .226, right-handed batter. Last week when the Phillies were in New York, the Mets were playing him every day at second base. Lurch's delivery to him is low inside, ball 1. So Lurch struggling a little bit here as we're in the 7th inning. Ron Reed is up in the Phillies bullpen right now. Pitch to Youngblood, low again. We understand it took 4 stitches to close that wound on Foster's head. Here's Ray Ripplemeyer coming out of the Phillies dugout to talk to Randy Lurch. 2 balls and no strikes to count here on Youngblood. So Ripplemeyer is at the mound. Fans remember the brand new revised Phillies yearbook is now on sale here at Veterans Stadium or through the mail. This new edition of one of the best yearbooks ever contains a brand new full-color team picture of the present 25-man roster, plus stories on some of the new players on the 77 club. To get yours, just pick one up next time you're here at the vet for $2, or send a check or money order for $2.50 to Phillies Yearbook, P.O. Box 7575, Philadelphia 19101. Arch is staying in the ball game. Count of 2-0 on Joel Youngblood. Here's the pitch to him. Swing and a foul right at the plate. Still nothing further on that Pirate-Cardinal game. Pittsburgh leading at 4-1. They're in the 9th inning. Pirates now batting. Candelaria pitching for Pittsburgh. Eric Rasmussen relieved by Raleigh Eastwick in the 9th inning for St. Louis. That's the first of a doubleheader. The 2-1 pitch to Youngblood. Fly ball center field. It's well hit. Maddox had to turn his back, but he's back there now, and at the edge of the warning track, he catches up with it for the out. Youngblood hit that a long way, but he is out, and Rosado stays at first base. That's one down in the 7th, and here is Doug Flynn. This afternoon, Houston beat San Francisco 6-3. Chicago-Montreal tied 3-3. They're into the 6th inning tonight. Jerry Morales has homered for the Cubs. Gary Carter hit his 26th for Montreal. Bill Bonham pitching against Wayne Twitchell. The pitch to Flynn is a pop fly ball, shallow right field. It's going out of play. Boston and New York 1-1 last half of the 5th inning. The Yankee runner Reggie Jackson homer is 27th. Louis Tion pitching against Sparky Lyle in relief of Mike Torres. Toronto a 9-0 winner over Baltimore tonight. That game forfeited. Oakland leads Kansas City 4-2 at the end of 5 innings in the first end of their doubleheader. Vida Blue pitching against Andy Hassler. There's a fly ball down the right field line. Bake McBride is over in foul ground, but it goes into the stands. Minnesota leads Chicago 2-0 at the end of 2. Jeff Zahn pitching against Steve Stone. 0-2, the count on Doug Flynn. Phillies lead this ball game 6-2. Rosado at first inning with 1 away. Rosado at first base with 1 away, I should say. There's Lurch's 0-2 pitch. It backs him off the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Paid crowd tonight of 25,314 as the Phillies set a new seasonal attendance mark. Next pitch to Flynn is a breaking ball, and it's tapped into left field for a base hit. Rosado will stop at second base. Flynn didn't get much wood on that ball, but he placed it in the left field for a hit. And the Mets are going to the bench now. Pepe Mangual will come to the plate and hit for Rick Baldwin. That's the 4th hit for the Mets. Here's Pepe Mangual. He spent the season in the minor leagues, has had only 1 at bat this year. He's 0 for 1. Pepe formerly with the Montreal Expos. Pitch to the right-handed batter, a fastball on the inside corner, a strike. Runners at first and second with 1 away. Here's the pitch to Mangual. It's over for a called strike. Breaking ball, and Lurch got it in. So the Phillies' seasonal attendance now is 2,492,995, and they've got 7 dates at home. Another breaking pitch is high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. John Pacella is up and warming up for the Mets. He's a rookie right-handed pitcher. Here's a hard hit ball down the right field line, but it's slicing foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes, the count on Pepe Mangual. Pepe, 25 years of age. Mets got him last year in a waiver deal during July. That was the same deal that sent Del Unser up to Montreal. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He strikes out. He may have chased a bad one. Strikeout number 4 for Lurch, 2nd out of the inning. The batter, Lenny Randall. He's 1 for 3, doubled and scored in the third inning. Rosado at second base, Flynn at first with 2 down. Here's the pitch. It's chopped off the plate very high toward second. Sizemore has no chance. He comes in and was lucky to glove the ball. Mets have the bases loaded. That'll be a chop single off the plate for Lenny Randall. Really bounced high into the air. No chance at all to make a play.
Wilt Chamberlain couldn't have made that play. That thing must have been hit, bounced 40, 50 feet in the air, right off home plate.
That'll bring up Lee Mazzilli with 2 outs and the bases loaded. Phillies leading the ball game 6-2. Mazzilli has an RBI on an infield ground out tonight. Otherwise 0 for 3. Lurch from the windup. Pitch to Mazzilli, a breaking ball tapped toward short. Boa gets it, throws across the diamond and is in time. That was a close play at first, but he's out for the Mets in the 7th. No runs, 2 hits, and 3 men left on base at the end of 6.5. Phillies lead at 6-2.
You want it, we got it. At your Chrysler Plymouth deal.
We've got the best deal of the year on the beautiful 1977 Cordoba. I'm Harry Callis, and if you've been waiting for the smart time to buy the stylish, luxurious, pace-setting Cordoba, that time is now. And the place is your nearest Chrysler Plymouth dealer. Now you get a great year-end deal and beat the 78 price increase, too. Get the best 77 deal on your Cordoba at your nearest Chrysler Plymouth dealers today.
To make it in the gas station business, you got to stay one step ahead of everybody else. So at my Sunoco, I've got something nobody else has. Sunoco's penny pinching pump. It could save you money on quality gas, like my 190, the gas that's made to sell below my regular. And most cars that run on regular can use it. Hey, if I don't want you to pass me by, I got to give you a price you can't pass up. Sunoco's penny pinching pump. It can fill up your tank for less. That's my way of being very friendly.
Did you know that if you're using gas with higher octane than your engine needs, you're literally wasting your money? That's why Sunoco has the penny pinching pump with 190 and 220. Both are quality gasolines. My 190 could save you money if your car runs on regular, and my 220 could save you money if your car runs on premium. Saving you money on quality gas is my way of being very friendly. Sunoco's penny pinching pump. It could fill up your tank for less.
The new pitcher for the Mets is a right-hander named John Pacella. They have just called him up. And the Mets are keeping Pepe Mangual in the ball game. He appeared as a pinch hitter, and he'll play in center field. Right now, the Phillies are conducting the drawing down in the right field picnic area to select the symbolic record-breaking fan tonight, and we'll get the announcement for you. They're selecting a seat number. And after the ushers go and to get the name of the fan, we'll have it for you. It's in section 358, row 13, seat 20. Let's pause here for station identification. This is the Phillies Baseball Network.
This is KYW Philadelphia, KYW News Time, 9:30. AccuWeather says we'll have considerable cloudiness, more humid weather tonight and tomorrow. A couple of brief showers. The low overnight 62. Right now 62 degrees and cloudy on Independence Mall.
John Pacella making his major league debut tonight, and we understand this is his 21st birthday, so this will be a day that he will remember. We have no information on John, so we'll just pick it up as we go along, but he is the 4th Mets pitcher of the night, and the first batter that he will face is Greg Luzinski. Bull having a good night. He's 2 out of 3. That ball game is over in St. Louis tonight, and the Pirates won the first end of that doubleheader 4-3. Pacella is from Oakdale, New York. He was the Mets' 4th selection in the June 74th free agent draft. His home is, or he was born anyway, in Brooklyn, New York. He's 6'2½". Here's the pitch to Luzinski. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Here's Pacella's next pitch. Swing and a miss by the ball. He has spent 4 years in the minor leagues. 0-2 the count to Luzinski. Pacella winds. Here's his next pitch. A curveball misses inside. Luzinski, Hebner, and Maddox to bat for the Phillies in the 7th inning. Phil's leading the ball game 6-2. Pacella winds. The next pitch is foul back by the ball. So the Phillies get no help from the Cardinals in the first end of that doubleheader, and the magic number for the Phillies remains at 10. We'll go down to 9 if the Phillies win here. Could go down to 8 tonight if the Cardinals can win that second game. After this series, the Phillies go to St. Louis, and the Pirates move into Montreal for the weekend. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Luzinski, a breaking ball. Fly ball center field. Pepe Mangual coming in. He grabs it for the out. Luzinski flies out to center. That's one down. At the plate, Richie Hebner looking for his first hit tonight. Grounded to first, fouled to third, fly to center. Cello winds, and his first pitch misses. No, it doesn't either. Catches the corner, a strike. One strike to Hebner. One strike pitch to Richie is pop fouled out of play.
This Pacella throws hard, showing a good fastball, and almost every time he throws the ball, his hat flies off. Shades of Jim Bouton.
Got a full head of hair, we can see that. 0-2 the count on Hebner. Pacella winds. Here's his next pitch. Foul right at the plate, and it goes off the right knee of catcher John Stearns, who hobbles in pain behind the plate. By the way, we talked about the Phillies selecting the symbolic record-breaking fan tonight. The reason is that fan is going to be awarded a free 10-day trip to Hawaii for 2. So for somebody, it was very lucky to show up at the ballpark tonight. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Hebner. Got jammed and sends a little pop-up on the left side of the diamond. It'll be caught by the third baseman Randall for the out. Hebner pops out to Randall, second out of the inning. And Gary Maddox. Gary has walked and scored and twice flied to right field. The last time, he sent Vail to the warning track in right field. A 6-2 lead for the Phillies as they try to break a 2-game losing streak. Phillies seeking their 91st win tonight. Best record in baseball. Fouled off by Maddox, strike 1. The Dodgers have a magic number of 4. And it'll either stay there or go to 2 tonight because they're playing head up against the Cincinnati Reds at Dodger Stadium. High inside, a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Fellow's going to have to put a string around his hat. That is disconcerting to a batter. And you see him going to that big windup, and all of a sudden his hat flies off.
And he does have a big windup and a big kick. John Pacella. Here's the pitch to Maddox. It's in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike.
I think his hat flies off on the fastball and stays on the breaking ball.
That's a good key. Here's the 2-1 pitch. It's outside, and apparently it was a breaking ball. Looked like a fastball, though, Rich. 3-1 the count to Gary Maddox. Here's the 3-1 delivery, and it's a fly ball, pretty well hit to right field. Vail is headed toward the corner. He can't get it. The ball hops into the bullpen. That'll be a ground rule double for Maddox. Gary gets two as the ball one hops over the 330-foot sign in right field. A double for Gary.
Dale Knight should have had that ball. The ball was slicing away from him, but he kind of slowed, and had he kept running, he would have caught up with it.
Dale, not the steadiest of outfielders. Here's Bob Boone. Boone has walked and scored. Flied out to left, lined out to center. Boone batting at .278. The Phillies lead the ball game 6-2.
What gives those fantastic Phillies their good name?
Playable near home plate. Stearns is out in front of the plate, calling everybody off. Catcher grabs it for the out. Phillies retired in the seventh. No runs, one hit, and one left. At the end of seven, Phillies lead it 6-2. And now time for a tasty break.
It's popcorn. Now, what'll be, fella?
Neither, thanks. We were just wondering how a professional talker gets his
Just
big game.
I drink Daly's juice.
Daly's juice.
Right.
And what is it about Daly's juice that seems to help your voice?
Who knows? It's got vitamin C in it. I know that.
Uh-huh.
It's made with natural fruit juices. That can't do you any harm, right?
I wouldn't think so.
Comes in 9 different flavors, but I don't think that's got anything to do with it.
Probably not. So, folks, take it from a real pro.
Come on.
Come on, get Daily.
Come on.
Come on, get natural.
Come up to the natural thing.
Everybody applauds when someone makes a great play because everyone loves a winner. Just like everyone loves the all-time winning taste of Tasty Cake. A deliciously different flavor of Tasty Cake orange treats, marshmallow treats, and chocolate creamies, too. Discover what makes Tasty Cake such a star. Make your play for a family pack of fresh-baked Tasty Cake. It's all the good things wrapped up in one.
Tasty Cake is a world of fun. All the good things wrapped up in one.
Let's move over to Harry Callis.
All right, thank you, Andy, and I'd like to remind you that I'll be hosting a hadn't-traveled trip to the French island of Guadeloupe in the Caribbean at the peak of the winter season. The price, $359 complete. Here's what that price includes. February 5th departure on a round-trip jet flight from Philadelphia. 7 nights at a first-class beachfront hotel. Transfers, baggage handling, gratuities, and taxes. All this for $359 complete. Forget shoveling snow in February. Join me in Guadeloupe on February 5th. Bill Weber hosts the same trip on February 26th. For a free brochure in Pennsylvania, call WA3-6663. In New Jersey, 795-5550. Or write to Haddon Travel, Box 5550, Cherry Hill, New Jersey, 08002. Steve Henderson leads off for New York. He fouls off the first pitch. Henderson is 0 for 2. He is struck out, grounded out on a fine play by Larry Boy and walked. Phillies lead it by a score of 6-2. We're in the 8th inning. Wind up by Lurch, and the pitch to Henderson threw it away. Way over the top of Boone and everybody else. Winner of the symbolic record-breaking fan, as the Phillies have set an all-time attendance mark tonight, is Rick McIntyre of Oaks, Pennsylvania. He wins a trip for 2 to Hawaii for 10 days. 1-1 the count to Henderson. Leading off the Mets' 8th, and the pitch to him is high with a breaking ball. It's 2-1. Wind up by Lurch. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fastball fouled out of play. 2-2 to Henderson. He'll be followed by Mike Vail. Phillies out in front 6-2. Mike Schmidt has knocked in 4 of those runs with a sacrifice fly and a 3-run homer. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Low and inside, a full count to Henderson. Lurch has struck out 4. He has walked 3. 3-2 pitch to Steve Henderson. Swing and a line drive foul over the picnic area down the right field line. Base 3-2 to him. Randy pitched his way out of a bases-loaded jam in the 7th inning. 3-2 pitch, swing, and a line drive base hit off the bat of Henderson. That's Henderson's first hit against Phillies pitching in quite some time. He had been 0 for 14 against Phillies pitching. So Henderson at first base, nobody out. It'll bring on Mike Vail. Vail has lined out to right, grounded out, and lined out to second. Hit number 6 for New York off Lurch. Second game pitchers at St. Louis will be Grant Jackson for the Pirates, Buddy Schultz for the Cardinals. Line drive hit right center field. Maddox over, makes a nice cutoff. Heading for third base, Henderson. He's held there. Quick throw to third, but Henderson dives back in safely. Holding at first base is Mike Vail. A fine play by Gary Maddox in center field.
They were going to send Henderson and change his mind at the last split second. Danny Ozark is headed towards the mound. That might be all for Randy Lurch. Tug McGraw, Ron Reed throwing in the bullpen. Well, Randy has pitched a pretty solid ball game, has been in occasional trouble, and he's first 2 batters on here in the 8th inning. Ron Reed is going to be the new Phillies pitcher. A pitching change for the Phils. The score, the Phillies 6, the Mets 2 and threatening, and we'll be back in a moment.
Once upon a time, there was a happy little family.
Everybody happy? Happy as a lark. Happy as clam.
Indeed, they were the happiest little family you would ever care to meet, until it came time to get in their car.
Look, just get in the car.
No, I don't want to go. Do I have to?
This is work.
What made them unhappy was that they could never seem to find a car that was right for them. It was either too big and expensive.
Maybe we could skip the house payment this month.
Or too small and uncomfortable.
It's small in here.
Ma, your elbow's in my eye.
Sorry, honey.
Then one day, Father happily announced he had found a car that was just right for them. A Buick Century Custom. Being a midsize, it was neither too big nor too small for them. And being a Buick, it had a V6 engine, lots of room and comfort, and the famous Buick ride. And that pleased them to no end.
I'm pleased as punch.
I'm tickled pink. I have to go to the bathroom.
All of which proves one thing. Maybe money can't buy you happiness, but it can buy you a Buick Century Custom, which for a lot of people is pretty much the same thing.
Ron Reed coming in to pitch for the Phils. To start this inning, Tommy Hutton had come in to play first base, replacing Richie Hebner. Fans, a special package plan of the playoff games in Los Angeles on October 4th and 5th has been set up by Getaway Travel of Philadelphia. The package, which costs $449 per person, includes round-trip air transportation, a box seat to each of the 2 playoff games, ground transportation, hotel room, double occupancy, cocktails and luncheons before each game, and all tax and gratuities. Flight will leave Monday night, October 3rd at 9:40 p.m., arriving in Los Angeles at 1:40 a.m. And the return flight leaves Los Angeles at 10 p.m. on Wednesday, October 5th, and arrives in Philadelphia at 7:25 a.m. Thursday. Anyone interested should contact Getaway Travel at 742-6400. Mets have runners at first and third. Ron Reed coming on for Randy Lurch. Steve Henderson at third base. Mike Vail at first. Nobody out. And John Stearns the batter. Stearns has walked, struck out, and flied out to center field. Reed is appearing in his 55th game, 7 wins, 5 losses. Here's the pitch to Stearns. Swing and a high pop-up. Shallow right field. Ted Sizemore going out. Size puts it away. Henderson tagging, and now he bluffs to go and goes back. Sizemore made the catch in shallow right. That was sky high, and Ted made a glove hand stab of the ball. Mets runners have to hold at first and third. John Milner is going to come out to pinch hit for Luis Rosado. John Milner pinch hitting for Rosado. Henderson at third base. At first base is Mike Vail, 1 down. Milner batting .261. 12 homers, 56 runs batted in. Pitch to him is over for a strike called, a changeup. 1 strike to count to Milner. Met runners at the corners with 1 down. Here's a stretch by Reed and a pitch to Milner. Fastball outside. It's 1-1. Phillies lead in the 8th, 6-2. Here's Reed's stretch. 1-1 pitch to Milner is low and inside. It's 2-1. Pirates won the first game at St. Louis 4-3 behind John Candelaria. Ed Kranepool moving into the on-deck circle to bat for Joel Youngblood. Pitch is tapped towards second base. Sizemore tags the runner. 1 relay double play. Good play by Ted Sizemore. He tagged Mike Vail and then threw out John Milner. Vail is arguing. Evidently, Sizemore did not tag him. The second base umpire, Bob Engel, said Vail ran out of the base path. So it's a 4-3 double play, and Ron Reed comes in to get out of the jam. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. The end of 7.5, Phillies 6, New York 2. A lot of you Phillies fans are also fans of Acme Super Saver's own Lancaster brand meat because you know the great taste and quality of this famous brand. Moreover, the choice of meats is tremendous, from fresh ground beef, steaks, roasts, and chops to pikes. If you're a Phillies fan who hasn't had Lancaster brand at home, start rooting for it. There is more to like than just the price. Lancaster brand meat, sold only at Acme Super Savers. Calendar lately, winter's going to be on us before you know it, or want it. And the colder it gets, the harder it gets for your car to start up every morning. That's where a fresh set of Champion spark plugs comes in. Because the fresher your plugs, the surer your starts. So this winter, don't let your old spark plugs leave you in the cold. Fill her up with Champion, world's #1 seller. John Milner will stay in the game for New York and play first base, replacing Luis Rosado. And leading off for the Phils will be Ted Sizemore. Sizemore is 0 for 2. He has walked, popped up, and grounded out. Facing the hard-throwing right-hander who is making his Major League debut, John Pacella. There's a pitch to Sizemore, fastball high for a ball, and again Pacella's cap flies off his head. 1-0 to count to Ted Sizemore. He'll be followed by pitcher Ron Reed, and then the top of the order. There's the pitch to Size, way outside. It gets through John Stearns, and the count is 2-0. And again, the cap flies off. Craig Swan started for New York. He just could not find the strike zone. He walked 5 and was taken out in the second. Bob Myrick coming on then, followed by Rick Baldwin, and now Pacella. Pitch is very high. It's 3-0. 3-0 to count to Ted Sizemore. Phillies lead 6-2, bottom of the 8th. 3-0 pitch is over for a strike called. It's 3-1. Phillies move from here to St. Louis. A weekend with the Cardinals will be on the Phillies radio and television networks for all 3 games. 3-1 pitch, high ball 4. He walked him. So Sizemore is a base runner with nobody out. It'll bring up Ron Reed. Reed has been at bat 13 times this year. He has 2 hits, has knocked in 2 runs. That's a look for a bunt here from Reed. Ron Reed standing in. Sizemore first base, nobody out. John Pasella stretches. And a throw to first base, and Sizemore back in plenty of time. The stretch by Pasella. Quick throw to first base that hit the umpire and it caroms into right field. Sizemore moves up to second base, and down on one knee is Terry Tata. Tata is injured as Pasella threw it very badly. It got by John Milner and hit umpire Terry Tata.
Well, that really had to be a wild throw to hit Tata. He was standing about, I guess, pretty close to 10 feet down the line on the right field side of first base, and the ball hit him right on the ankle. He picked Tata off the bag. Of course, umpires, the base umpires, do not wear any protection.
Don Seeger is out attending to Terry Tata.
If you stick around long enough in this game, you're going to see everything.
We're certainly not laughing at Tata, as these guys do a tremendous job, but it was an extremely wild throw, and that took him really by surprise. He's down that right field line, and all of a sudden the ball's coming right at him. Tata's all right. He'll stay in the game. Ed Sizemore at second base. And the pitch to Ron Reed. He's down to bunt and bunts it foul. One strike to count to Ron Reed. Reed trying to move Sizemore up to third base. Here's the pitch. Drew the bat back on a bunt try, and it was a ball. It's 1-1. Sizemore, second base. Boston and New York still tied 1-1 at Yankee Stadium in the 6th. 1-1 pitch. Full swing, and he popped him up. In the infield, shortstop Doug Flynn right in front of second base. Drops the ball. Safe all around. Flynn drops the high pop. Sizemore saves at second. Reed at first on the air on Doug Flynn. Well, that is embarrassing. Phillies have 2 men on base, nobody out. It'll bring on Bake McBride. Bake is 1 out of 3. His walk struck out, singled and grounded out. Sizemore at second base. Reed at first base on Flynn's error. Phillies lead 6-2. Here's the pitch to Bake. Low for a ball. 1-0. So a walk in this inning and 2 errors by New York. Phillies have runners at first and second. Here's Pacella's 1-0 pitch, and that's outside. Ball 2, 2-0. Pacella asked for a different baseball. Pittsburgh failed in the first in that second game of their doubleheader at St. Louis. Grant Jackson against Buddy Schultz. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Swing and a pop foul out of play. Back up over our heads and into the upper deck. And it's 2-1 to Bake McBride. Phillies lead by a score of 6-2, bottom half of the eighth. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a foul ball down the left field side. That'll end up in the picnic area and out of play. And it's 2-2 to Bake. McBride has picked up a couple of stolen bases tonight. Stole second and third in the first inning. And he has stolen 35 on the year. That's career high for him. 2-2 to Bake. Sizemore at second. Ron Reed at first. John Pasella stretches. Sizemore breaking, no throw. He got a tremendous jump, and Sizemore steals third base. For Ted Sizemore, that is steal number 7 on the year. Reed holds at first base. It's a full count to Bake McBride. Full count to Bake McBride. Here's a stretch by Pasella. Pitch to Bake, swing and a bouncing foul at the plate. Stays 3-2. That Yankee-Boston game, New York Yankees have made a pitching change. Sparky Lyle has been taken out. Ken Clay is now pitching. Full count to Bake McBride. Ted Sizemore at third. At first, pitcher Ron Reed. Nobody out. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a foul ball. Stays 3-2. Bake stays alive. John Pasella making his major league debut on his birthday. He's 21 tonight. He's in trouble here in the bottom of the eighth. Three-two pitch. Swing and a pop-up. Foul might be playable. Lenny Randle in front of the stands. Has room. Puts it away. McBride is out on a foul pop to Lenny Randle. That's one down, and that'll bring on Larry Boa. Boa's had a perfect night. Has walked, stolen a base, hit a sacrifice fly, singled and scored a run and doubled. Also made some fine defensive plays tonight. Ted Sizemore at third base, Ron Reed at first base, one out. The stretch by Pasella, the pitch to Boa, bouncing ball over the head of Milner into right field for a base hit. Sizemore scores, Reed heading for third, he's safe there, and the Phillies lead at 7-2, and Boa has his third hit of the night. Bounding single over the head of John Milner. Larry knocks in another run. 41st run batted in on the year. Phillies have runners at first and third with one out. Now leading 7-2, and here's Mike Schmidt. Schmidt's had a big night. He's 1 out of 3, but has knocked in 4 runs. With a sacrifice fly and a 3-run home run. Ron Reed at third, Larry Boa first. Lob toss to first base. Boa gets back. There's a stretch by Pacella and the pitch to Schmidt. Fastball inside for a ball. 1-0 the count to Mike Schmidt. Phillies leading the ball game 7-2. Bottom half of the eighth. There's the 1-0 pitch. Inside, gets away from Stearns. Reed scores. Boa moves to second base. A wild pitch uncorked by young Pacella. And the Phillies now lead at 8-2. Count 2-0 to Mike Schmidt. Now, Pacella in his first inning pitched pretty well. He gave up a double to Gary Maddox, but got the other three Phillies out that he faced, did not walk anybody. But in this inning, he opened it with a walk to Sizemore, then he committed an error, and Kling committed an error. Base hit by Boa, now the wild pitch. Here's the 2-0 to Schmidt, and that's low and inside, ball 3. Well, the Boston Red Sox have come up with 6 runs in the 6th inning. They now lead the New York Yankees 7-1. Here's the 3-0 pitch, and that's on the inside corner for a strike called. It's 3-1.
If the Red Sox go on and win that, both Boston and Baltimore would be 2.5 games back of the Yankees. Boston, I believe, plays Baltimore this weekend.
3-1 pitch to Mike. He checked. It's low, ball 4. Second walk in the inning given up by Pacella. Phillies have 2 men on base, 1 out. Let's pause for station identification on the Phillies Baseball Network.
At 10:02, this is KYW Philadelphia. AccuWeather says considerable cloudiness, more humid tonight and tomorrow with a couple of brief showers. Currently, cloudy and 62 degrees on Independence Mall.
Pitching coach Rube Walker coming out to talk to John Pacella. There's activity in the Mets bullpen. Phillies have 2 men on base, 1 out. Luzinski is 2 for 4, has flied to center twice, singled, and flied to center. Pacella will stay in there. Larry Bowa at second base, Mike Schmidt at first base. For Schmidt, he walked number 96 on the year. Here's the bull. Pitch to him. Swing and a bouncing foul at the plate. 1 strike to count to Greg Luzinski. Jim Lombard pitching tomorrow night for the Phils at St. Louis. He'll be opposed by John Denny. Here's the 1 strike pitch. Behind him with a breaking ball. It's 1-1.
John Stearns really earning his money back there. He's diving way outside, up high, wide. Fella does have a good arm. He has a great fastball.
1-1 pitch to the ball. Very high fly ball, right center of field. Coming hard is Pepe Mangual, and he makes the catch. So Luzinski is out, 2 down. And that'll bring on Tommy Hutton. Hutton batting for the first time. He came in, take over for Richie Hebner. Hutton is hitting at 254. 2 homers. He's knocked in 11 runs. There's a pitch to Tommy Hutton, and it's a strike called on the outside corner. Larry Bowa at second, Mike Schmidt at first, 2 outs. 2 runs are in this inning. Phillies lead it by a score of 8-2. Now the pitch to Hutton is low for a ball. 1-1 to Tommy Hutton. The 1-1 pitch. Outside, ball 2, 2-1. John Pacella walks off the mound. 2 balls and a strike to Hutton. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Checked his swing. It's low, and it's 3-1. Gary Maddox waiting on deck. Stretch by Pacella. 3-1 pitch to Hutton. He pops a foul out of play behind the New York Mets dugout. So it's a full count to Tommy with 2 down in the 8th inning. Larry Bowen, Mike Schmidt, the base runners, will be moving from second and first with 2 outs. Phillies lead it by a score of 8-2. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Bouncing ball foul down the first base side. Count stays 3-2 to Tommy Hutton. Oakland leading Kansas City 5-3. Game 1 of their doubleheader in the 7th inning. The Royals going into that game with a 14-game winning streak. Now again the 3-2 pitch, swinging a ground ball, hit towards second, gloved by Youngblood. His throw in plenty of time, and Hutton is out. So the Phillies are down in the 8th. But they scored 2 runs in the inning on 1 hit. There were 2 New York errors and 2 men left. And at the end of 8th, the score, Phil's 8, Mets 2.
Once upon a time, there was a couple who needed a car.
Honey, we need a car.
My shoes have had it.
They wanted a sensible car because they were sensible people.
We're sensible people.
We save strings.
We buy bonds.
We brush
We
regularly.
hang up our clothes.
But they also wanted a car that was fun because they liked a good time.
Anybody for a quick game of fish?
Oh, cold glass of milk and you're on.
Well, knowing how hard it is to find a car that is both sensible and fun, they went straight to their Buick dealer, whom they knew to be a most reliable source for such cars.
Say, you wouldn't have...
Of course he would.
At which point, the dealer introduced them to the Buick Skylark. When the V6 engine, the compact size, and the ample room were pointed out, they were amazed at how much sense the Skylark made.
Isn't that amazing?
I am bowled over.
And when the famous Buick ride, comfort, and road manners came to their attention, they were quick to see how much fun a Skylark could be.
Gee, that looks like fun.
Oh, you're not just listening.
They were so overjoyed with their Skylark, they stopped the car, ran up to the first person they saw, hugged him, and kissed him.
I'm going to hug him.
I'm going to kiss him.
Which might not make much sense, but it certainly was fun.
Now the Phillies move from here to St. Louis for a weekend series with the Cardinals, and then back home on Tuesday night. The Chicago Cubs will be in. Rick Russell, Bruce Sutter, Jerry Morales, and all the Cubs. Tuesday and Wednesday nights at 7:35. And Thursday's game will start at 5 o'clock. Phillies with a series with the Chicago Cubs next week. Plenty of tickets remain for all these games. Jerry Martin coming in to play left field, replacing Greg Luzinski as we move to the ninth. Phillies lead at 8-2. Ron Reed trying to save this one for Randy Lurch. And Joel Youngblood will be the first one to face him. The pitch to him, big swing and a miss. 1 strike to count to Youngblood. He came on when Leo Foster had to leave the game with a cut over his eye, which required 4 stitches. Pitch to Youngblood is over for a strike call. And it's 0-2 to Joel Youngblood. Reed came in the 8th inning. The Mets had runners at first and third and nobody out, and he got out of that inning without a run. Pitch to Youngblood is way outside. It's 1-2. Bruce Beauclair has moved into the on-deck circle. He will bat for Doug Flynn. Now the 1-2 pitch. Swinging a ground ball. Deep third, fair ball. Great play by Schmidt. He's out at first. What a play by Mike Schmidt. Way behind the bag at third base. Had to make a quick and accurate and strong throw, and he did, and nipped Youngblood by a fraction of a stride. One down. Fine play by Mike Schmidt. That'll bring on Bruce Beauclair. Beauclair pinch hitting for Doug Flynn. Bruce hitting at .296, a left-hand batter. Pitch is low for a ball to Beauclair. Belated birthday wishes tonight to Florence Stadler, great baseball fan, the Phils for many, many years. Here's the pitch to Bruce, bouncing ball to Tommy Hutton. He glows, lobs to Ron Reed, covering. Beauclair is out, 2 down. And we're going to get another pinch hitter. Ron Hodges is coming out of the dugout. The hit for Pepe Mangual. Hodges, a left-hand hitter, hitting at .267. Phillies lead 8-2, 2 down, 9th inning. Ron Reed set to work to Ron Hodges. Here's the pitch to the left-hand hitter, and it's over for a strike called at the knees. One strike pitch. Swing and a fly ball. Loop down the left field foul line. Martin coming hard, makes the catch. Ball game is over. Phillies win it by a score of 8-2. Big night for Larry Boehm, Mike Schmidt. Fine relief pitching by Ron Reed, and a good effort by starter Randy Lurch. Randy's tonight's winning pitcher. He wins a case of tasty cake for him, wife Janet, and young daughter Christy. Phillies win 8-2, the magic number down to 9. Back with the final totals and a recap right after this.
What goes between innings, between meals, and between friends? Delicious ice-cold Coca-Cola. You can always count on Coke to give you just what your thirst is looking for. Cold, satisfying, taste-pleasing refreshment. Coke adds life to your enjoyment of Philadelphia Phillies baseball games. And to just about everything that makes your living nice. Like a game-time snack or a full-course meal. Remind somebody to bring home cartons of Coca-Cola every week.
To be effective, a pitcher has to have a variety of pitches. It's the same way with savings plans. Gerard Bank knows that everybody needs to save, but everybody's needs are different. That's why they offer a wide choice of savings plans, more than a dozen to choose from. Stop in at any of Gerard's 82 offices and ask about our savings plan. There'll be someone there who can give you all the facts without throwing you any curves. MAB believes that a beautiful home should be a safe one, too. So right now we're offering first-class safety plus great savings with a sale on Kitty Fire-Away 110 fire extinguishers and Kitty Fire-Away 240 fire extinguishers. The 110 model was regularly priced at $19. Now it's yours for just $9.95. You save $9.05. The 240 model was regularly priced at $30. Now it's yours for $19.95. For details on other MAB bargains, see this Thursday's bulletin.
Take me out to the Phillies game. Take me out to the vet. Buy me some hot dogs. Hot dogs? Sure. Isn't that the best part of a ball game? Well, now you can have the same hot dogs at home that you have at the Phillies game. They're called Phillies Franks. They're plump, juicy, and delicious. When you go out to the food store, get me some Phillies Franks. For it's 1, 2, 3, strike! It's the next best thing to being there. Phillies Franks by MedSurg.
Well, the Phillies down the New York Mets by a score of 8-2 tonight. Randy Lurch, the starter, got a save from Ron Reed. A fine relief job by Ron Reed. Mike Schmidt knocked in 4 with a sacrifice fly in his home run number 35 for Schmitty. Larry Boa had a big night, 3 for 3, including a sacrifice fly and a walk. And Larry will be our star of the game on the Tasty Cake wrap-up show coming up shortly. Here are the final totals for the winning Phils. 8 runs, 9 hits, 1 error, and 9 left. New York had 2 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors, 7 left. Randy Lurch, the winner, he is 9 and 5. And a save for Ron Reed. For Ron, that is save number 14 on the year. The loser was Craig Swan. He is 8 and 9. Dave Toy has been our engineer for tonight's game. Our executive producer, Steve Silverman. Phillies baseball is a presentation of the Philadelphia Phillies. For Rich Ashburn and Andy Musser, Harry Callis saying thanks for listening. Final score once again. Phil's 8, New York 2, and this is the Phillies Baseball Network.
Phillies Baseball has been sponsored in part by your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer. If you want a Grand Slam deal on a top-notch selection of great new cars, he's got it. And by Tasty Cake, still all the good things wrapped up in one. And proud to list them right on the label. Thanks, Tasty Cake. By Rusta's Steakhouse, why not stop by and treat yourself to a delicious steak dinner complete with salad and baked potato, all under $3. By that friendly man at your Sunoco station, home of the penny-pinching pump, where you get $1.90, the gas that's made to sell below his regular. That's his way of being very friendly. And by the Saratano Hilton, home of Saratano wines, next door to the Phillies. By Girard Bank, the bank with more than 80 offices and 20 George machines, conveniently located to meet all your banking needs. By your Coca-Cola bottler, who reminds you that Coke adds life to baseball and all your favorite sports. Enjoy it often.
Have you got the latest?
This is KYW, 1060 Philadelphia, Group W Westinghouse Broadcasting, serving Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware from Independence Mall. Top story of the hour, a meeting by the Executive Board of the Philadelphia Teachers Union to decide whether to honor striking bus driver and maintenance worker picket lines. That meeting is still underway. We'll have details as soon as it's over. Stay tuned for the Phillies post-game show.
If you're trying to buy or sell a house, you're probably afraid, and you should be, because there are lots of house traps out there. Fox and Rosa revealed house trap number 3, settlement costs.
Oh, those hidden settlement costs really wiped me out. The taxes, the title search, attorney's fees, appraisal, bank service charges. Why didn't somebody warn me?
At Fox & Lasso, the largest realtor in the Delaware Valley, we have 90 full-time sales associates trained to help you avoid house traps. We did over $58 million in sales last year, but not by being greedy. We did it by putting service to our clients ahead of the almighty dollar, helping them avoid house traps. For a free copy of our booklet on how to avoid 9 costly house traps, write to House Traps, Carroll Station. Fox & Lasso has 6 offices in New Jersey, and we just branched out in Paoli. Fox & Lasso. We're more than a friend. We're a family.
Tasty Cake, bakers of more than 30 delicious kinds of fresh-baked cakes, pies, and cookies, is proud to bring you the Tasty Cake Wrap-Up Show. A Tasty Cake exclusive, packed with news, views, and a wrap with tonight's Phillies star of the game. So gather around and listen in, while Tasty Cake wraps up some of the very best in baseball for the 1977 season. Tasty Cake and the Phillies, all the good things wrapped up in one.
Tasty Cake is a world of fun. It's all the good things wrapped up in one.
Back at Veterans Stadium, where the Phillies are down the New York Mets by a score of 8-2. The Phillies' magic number is now down to 9. Our star of the game is Phillies shortstop Larry Boa. Larry walked, hit a sacrifice fly, 2 singles and a double. Fine night, and also made some fine defensive plays. Not really the spectacular variety, but Larry plays where you really had to air out your arm to get several runners tonight.
Yeah, I think the big one was Mazzelli. I don't know if it was the 7th inning after Randall hit a chopper, and then he hit a slow roller, and it was a do or die. I had to throw it hard, and we were fortunate enough to barely get him.
Well, the Phillies had come into this game not having scored a run in 19 consecutive innings. Bake McBride led off the game with a walk. Larry Boa also walked. And with Bake at second, Larry at first, here's what happened. 2 men on base. Here's Mike Schmidt hitting at 274. The runners are breaking. The throw to third, not in time. Double steal pulled off by Bake McBride and Larry Boa. Looks like that's maybe a part of the Phillies' game plan now, Larry.
Well, Bake's such an outstanding base runner, Harry, and we had, as you said, we hadn't scored any runs, so we made it a point before the game. We said if we both get on, we're going to start running right away and try to make things happen. And we got to run that inning because of that. We Mike hit a sacrifice fly, and or Bull did. I'm not sure which one.
Yeah, it was Mike. Got to run it out of here.
We sort of had to manufacture. When you're not hitting, you have to go to other ways to score runs, and we have some speed on our ball club, and we went to use it tonight.
Well, the Mets came right back to tie it when John Stearns' walk moved to second out on there. He scored on Luis Rosado's double, and with 2 outs, that brought to the plate Doug Flynn. Here's the pitch to Flynn. Swing and a line drive center field. Maddox, a great shoestring catch. Gary Maddox saved a run with a great shoestring catch on a sinking line drive in center field. Larry, I don't know anybody in baseball that makes that play better than Gary.
Well, I'll tell you here, I never did get to see Willie Mays play every day, but if there's a better center fielder that I've, in the last 20 years, I can't recall any because he plays so shallow. That's the thing that people don't realize. And he comes in on a ball better than anybody I've ever seen. He's robbed so many ball players of singles, it's unbelievable. And like I said, I think he's the best in baseball right now.
That certainly was one. That ball off the bat looked like a certain hit.
Right.
Well, in the second inning, again, Craig Swan, who evidently Larry Boa just had no idea of the strike zone. He just couldn't find the plate, could he? Starter.
And he was aiming the ball, and he didn't have very much velocity, and you could tell that he was struggling.
Well, he walked the bases loaded in the second. He walked Gary Maddox, he walked Bob Boone, and he walked Ted Sizemore, and that brought to the plate Randy Lurch facing a new pitcher, Bob Myrick. Here's the stretch. 2-2 pitch, fastball, laced to left field for a base hit. Gary Maddox scores. Boone will hold at third base. Randy Lurch at first with a solid line single to left. Phillies lead it by a score of 2-1. So Randy Lurch helped himself with a base hit, and Larry Boa, how was Randy throwing tonight?
He was throwing very well. His last 3 times out, he's been throwing very good here. He got a little tired in the 8th inning, but we told him before the game, give us a good 7, and that's just what he did, and the bullpen took over. The bullpen's been unbelievable, except for one small stretch. I think they won series in Pittsburgh early in the year, but ever since then, they've done a tremendous job, and without them, there's no telling where we'd be.
Well, the Mets came back to score another run in the third to keep it kind of tight. Phillies led 3-2 going into the 4th inning, and Bob Myrick got the first 2 men out, but then Bake McBride got a base hit. Larry Boa got a base hit with 2 men on base and 2 outs. It brought to the plate Mike Schmidt.
Myrick has his sign from Stearns. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Schmidt. Hard hit ball into deep right field. Vail is back. He watches from the warning track. It is gone. A 3-run homer for Mike Schmidt. And the Phillies have finally busted out of it here in the 4th inning as they add 3 runs and lead this ball game 6-2.
So Mike Schmidt knocking in his 4th run of the ball game, 89th of the year, and what was ironic, I guess, in a way about that, Larry, is you were at first base, but the 1-0 pitch that he took prior to getting the count to 1-2 looked like it was right down the pipe.
Yeah, it was, and he was sort of mad at himself for taking it. And we were sort of teasing Mike tonight in the batting cage. You know, we have a lot of instigators on the team, and he hadn't hit a home run in Veterans Stadium since July 31st, and about 4 or 5 of us let him know, and he said, well, he's going to do something about tonight. And the home run's our biggest weapon. You know, with the first 2 guys get on, that's the easy way to get 3 runs. And, you know, Mike and Bull have been doing it all year.
Well, Larry Boa then doubled in the 6th inning off Rick Baldwin, and Boa was not finished there. That made it 2 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. Got the game-winning hit, incidentally, with that sacrifice fly. And he came up in the 8th inning. Ted Sizemore had walked. He moved to second base on a throwing error, a pickoff attempt by the rookie John Pasella. Moved to second on that. Then Ron Reed hit a high pop-up that Doug Flynn dropped for an error. Sizemore stole third after Bake McBride fouled out. That brought to the plate Larry Boa. The stretch by Pasella, the pitch to Boa, bouncing ball over the head of Milner into right field for a base hit. Sizemore scores. Reed heading for third. He's safe there. And the Phillies lead at 7-2, and Boa has his 3rd hit of the night. A high bounding ball over the head of the first baseman, but that'll make up for some of the line drives, certainly.
Well, Harry, you know, lately I've been a little lazy with the bat. I've been getting my hits, you know, every game, 1 or 2, mainly 1, and you know, everybody comes up to me and says, are you tired? And the more I hear it, then I say, yeah, I guess I must be, but I'm really not tired. When you're in first place, you go out there, and we know we have to throw our lineup out there every day until we clinch this. And if we were 10 or 11 games out, yeah, I'd be tired, but I'm not tired, and Billy DeMars and myself went down the cage today, and we tried to work on hitting the ball into the ground, and tonight I hit the ball very good, and I was pleased with myself. And hopefully I can keep this up a little bit because it makes Bull's job and Schmidt's job a lot easier when there's a lot of men on base.
Harry, how was that last fella that threw, John Pacella?
He threw very hard. He didn't have too much of an idea of where the ball was going. He's only 20 years old. Talking to Doug Flynn, and he said he's only 20 years old, but he has good velocity. It looks like he's got a pretty good breaking ball, so he's young, and he has to be labeled a prospect, probably.
His cap flies off on almost every pitch that he throws. Does that distract the hitter?
No, it doesn't distract me because I'm just trying to watch the ball. But I guess some guys, like Greg. I know Greg and Schmidt don't like to face guys they've never seen before, and they were a little uncomfortable up there.
Well, the Phillies went into the ninth with a comfortable lead, 8-2, and leading off the ninth was Joel Youngblood, and here's what happened.
Now the 1-2 pitch. Swinging a ground ball. Deep third, fair ball. Great play by Schmidt. He's out at first. What a play by Mike Schmidt.
Boy, he had to really get a quick and accurate throw off on that play.
Yeah, he's been unbelievable. Everyone talks about his hitting, but I haven't seen anybody more agile than him down at third base. And our whole ball club is very good defensively, and that's why we're in first place, not just because we swing the bats and our pitching staff, but we can make the plays in the field.
Well, Larry, it was a good ball game, and especially after the little drought that the Phillies had, 19 innings without scoring a run. I know that the Phillies are a confident club. That didn't worry you too much.
No, people tend to forget, Harry, that they threw two pretty good games against us. Rickers threw exceptionally well, and Espinosa gives us trouble all year. I like to, I don't like to get shut out or anything, but I give credit to the pitcher when he does a good job, and Espinosa and Rickers do super against us, and that's going to happen over a course of 162 ball games.
Okay, Bo, on to St. Louis. Thanks ever so much for chatting.
Okay, yeah.
Larry Bo, our guest, and we'll be back to check that Major League scoreboard in a moment. Now it's time for a tasty break.
Tasty cake is a day in spring, a brand new love or golden ring. Tasty cake is the morning sun. It's all the good things wrapped up in one. Tasty cake is the deep blue sea, a song they're singing for you and me. Tasty cake is a world of fun. It's all the good things wrapped up in one.
Everybody applauds when someone makes a great play because everybody loves a winning performance. Just like everyone loves the all-time winning taste of Tasty Cake, too. The deliciously different flavor of a Tasty Cake orange treat, a fluffy marshmallow treat, and extra chocolatey-rich chocolate creamies. What makes Tasty Cake such a star? It's all the really good things Tasty Cake fresh bakes into each and every family pack they bake to make them all the very best there is.
Tasty cake is a world of fun. It's all the good things wrapped up in one.
Checking the Major League scoreboard, all of our guests on the Tasty Cake wrap-up show, incidentally, get a gift certificate to the Mitchell's Air Off Clothing Showroom, 417 North 3rd Street, and the new one in the Rosemont Village Mall, Lancaster Avenue, Rosemont Village. Boston well on their way to a win over the Yankees, 7-1, bottom half of the 8th at Yankee Stadium. That would make the Yankees in front in American League East by 2.5 over both Boston and Baltimore. Baltimore, a weird game tonight, a 9-0 forfeit. Earl Weaver had pulled his team off the field, and the umpires under Rule 415 forfeited the game. At the time, Toronto was leading 4-0, but because of the forfeit, it goes down as a 9-0 game. All the records count. Jim Clancy won at the loser, Ross Grimsley. First game, a doubleheader at Kansas City. The Royals going in with a 14-game winning streak. They are tied at 6-6 with Oakland, bottom half of the 10th. Chicago and Minnesota, the Twins lead the White Sox by a score of 5-2 at the end of 5. Jeff's on for Minnesota. Steve Stone started. He's no longer around for Chicago. Texas leading California 5-3 after 4. Mike Hargrove has hit a home run for Texas. In the National League, game 1 of the doubleheader, Pittsburgh beat St. Louis 4-3. The Cards came up with 2 in the bottom of the 9th, but could not pull it out. John Candelaria won his 17th. The loser, Eric Rasmussen, no home runs in that game. Second game just underway. Pittsburgh failed in the first. Grant Jackson against Buddy Schultz. Then in the bottom of the 9th at Montreal, the Cubs of Montreal tied 4-4. Jerry Morales, a Chicago home run, and Gary Carter hit one for Montreal, his 26th. Bruce Sutter now pitching for the Cubs. Will McEnany for Montreal. Atlanta and San Diego just underway. Dick Ruthven against Randy Jones. Cincinnati and Los Angeles. Houston and San Francisco play this afternoon. Houston won it 6-3. Gene Pence won it. Ed Hulicky, the loser.
There at Veterans Stadium, the Phillies reduced their magic number to 9 by defeating New York 8-2. We'll be in St. Louis tomorrow against the Cardinals. Airtime for the pregame show will be 20 minutes past 8 o'clock. We hope you'll join us then. Score in the second game now from St. Louis, 3-1 Pittsburgh in the third inning. Pirates leading that second game 3-1. They won the opener. Dave Toy, our engineer. This is Harry Callis. Thanks for listening. This is the Phil's Baseball Network. Tasty Cake, bakers of more than 30 delicious kinds of fresh-baked cakes, pies, and cookies, has brought you the Tasty Cake Wrap-Up Show. A Tasty Cake exclusive packed with news, views, and a wrap with the Phillies star of the game. Tune in next time when Tasty Cake wraps up some of the very best in baseball on the Tasty Cake Wrap-Up Show. Tasty Cake and the Phillies. All the good things wrapped up in one.
Tasty Cake is the world of fun. All the good things wrapped up in one.
From car wax to carburetors, oil to alternators, tires to tools, from plugs to paint, from anything to everything you need in auto accessories, Royal Auto Supplies is your supermarket for savings. With over 8,000 parts and accessories in stock for your car.
If you want to give your car the protection it needs for the winter, Simonize it right now. Simonize Royale Premium Car Wax is easy to use and leaves a brilliant shine that lasts and lasts. The unique Pro Stroke applicator makes your job fast and easy, and Simonize Royale requires no extra buffing. If you want your car protected against winter, Simonize it right now with Simonize Royale Car Wax, available at Royal Auto Supplies.
You can find a Royal Auto Supply store at King of Prussia Plaza, McDade Mall, Woodhaven Mall, Bazaar of All Nations, Clifton Heights, Whitehall Mall, Allentown, plus their new location, Warrington Plaza, Route 611 and Street Road. With over 37 years' experience in automotive parts and accessories, it's Royal Auto Supplies. Look for Royal Auto Supplies super specials in the sports section of this Sunday's bulletin.
You've been listening to Phillies baseball on KYW Philadelphia News Radio in the Delaware Valley. It's 10:30. I'm Fred Hunsberger. The top story at this hour, a meeting by the executive board of the Philadelphia Teachers Union to decide whether to honor striking bus driver and maintenance worker picket lines. Once again, the time, 10:30.
Woodbury Honda, Woodbury, New Jersey, has 6 brilliant ways to help you beat the cost of getting around. The Honda Civic sedans, hatchbacks, 5-speed, or wagon. Each gives you plenty of standard features, brilliant engineering, and best of all, terrific economy. Start with the Honda 4-speed Civic sedan, the lowest priced car in America in a comparison of manufacturer's suggested base retail prices. Then there's the Honda Civic CVCC sedan and hatchback with Honda's brilliant CVCC engine. Doesn't need a catalytic converter and runs on regular low lead or unleaded gasoline. If you want something sportier, take a look at the CVCC 5-speed. Radial tires, tachometer, special upholstery, and the gas-saving 5-speed transmission. In EPA mileage estimates, the CVCC 5-speed got 54 miles a gallon on the highway, 41 miles a gallon in the city, 46 miles a gallon combined. Your mileage may vary. Test drive a Honda Civic CVCC 5-speed from Woodbury Honda, 113 South Broad, Woodbury, New Jersey, only minutes from South Philadelphia, over the Walt Whitman Bridge and Route 295 south to Woodbury.
Use KYW News Radio as an area-wide hotline. Local news day and night. When something hits close to home, we cover it. 1060.
What makes waffles waffles?
Milk does.
What makes bakeries beer?
Milk does.
What makes a beef pie beer?
Milk does.
The milk is a natural.
Nothing like milk to start a meal off on the right foot. Makes kids' favorite foods taste even better. Pour some, then watch them march back for more.
What makes cheddar cheese cheese?
Milk does.
What makes drumsticks drummier?
Milk does.
Milk is a natural.
American Dairy Association.
Hey, this is a great hideout.
We here till the heat's off, boss.
Right. What did Lily leave in the icebox?
Cottage cheese, boss.
Cottage cheese?
Peaches. We'll have cottage cheese and sliced peaches.
Yeah.
Or we'll mix it with his chives for a terrific cracker spread.
Well,
And it'll go great along with his hot dogs, boss. Trust me.
Okay, I trusted you to carry the money, didn't I?
You did?
You didn't.
Uh-oh.
Cottage cheese. Trust it to be delicious anytime. American Dairy Association.
Coming up, a special report on Bert Lance's testimony today before Senate panel.
Not too sweet, it's not too sweet. Refreshing treat, refreshing treat. It's not too sweet. Oh, it's not too sweet. It's refreshing, crisp and neat. refreshing, sweet. Canada Dry, cool your thirst. It's a soft drink you can't beat. Well, I love hamburgers and I love French fries, and my favorite ginger ale is Canada Dry. Oh, it's not too sweet. Oh, it's not too sweet. A refreshing soft drink treat.
Canada Dry Ginger Ale. Regular or diet. It's more refreshing because it's a not-too-sweet soft drink.
KYW News Time 10:34. AccuWeather for the tri-state area. Considerable cloudiness, more humid tonight and tomorrow with a couple of brief showers. The low tonight 60 to 64. The high tomorrow 74 to 78. Rain is likely late tomorrow and tomorrow night. The low tomorrow night 62 to 66. Saturday may be cloudy in the morning with a lingering shower, then clearing, warmer and humid, the high 82 to 86. Right now at Independence Mall, skies are cloudy, temperature 63 degrees. At the airport at 62. The winds are from the east at 7 miles per hour. The relative humidity 75%, and the barometer reads 30.44 and is rising. Budget Director Bert Lance faced a Senate panel today and presented his side of the controversial banking story. KYW now presents a special 15-minute report on the highlights of today's testimony. Here is correspondent Vic Ratner.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Vic Ratner in Washington. Bert Lance gets his day in court with his job, his reputation, and his future hanging in the balance.
The burden of proof has shifted to you to show that your actions are consistent with the President's high ethical standards, the standards expected of a person in a position of high public trust.
I intend to answer every charge that has been made, and I shall answer every question that is asked to the best of my ability.
With those words, Bert Lance began his appearance before the Senate Governmental Affairs Committee. With his family, his lawyer, and a dozen Georgia friends for company at his side, Lance had officially come to testify before the Senate committee that had confirmed him as President Carter's budget director. Unofficially, he was there to talk past the senators, to get his side of the story across to the American people.
I have infinite faith in the fairness of the American people. I welcome them as the jury in this proceeding, for I am secure and comfortable knowing that my conscience is clear and that the people's verdict will be a fair and just one.
Lance had apparently decided that, as the old adage goes, the best defense was a good offense, accusing the news media and some of the senators of using half-truths, distortions, and innuendo and smear tactics against him.
The rights that I thought I had as an American have been treated in the most irresponsible and destructive manner. The basic American principle of justice and fair play has been pointedly ignored by certain members of this committee. Certain persons have publicly, in effect, brought in a guilty of quote before I have been given the opportunity to present my side of the case. It has been a saddening and disillusioning experience.
The scene was reminiscent of the old Watergate hearings as Lance testified in a jam-packed standing room only Senate committee room before cameras and microphones. Lance then went on to read an hour-and-a-half long detailed statement, complete with dates, places, and figures, to back up his claim that he'd done nothing improper or illegal. From the Senate's point of view, the most serious issue was whether Lance had hidden information on his financial troubles from the committee when he was first investigated last winter. Several senators have said that if they'd known then what they know now about Lance's bank overdrafts and other problems, they would not have voted to confirm him as budget director. Lance testified that he had told the committee staff all about these things last January.
The record of this committee reflects that the very first question posed to me at my confirmation hearing by the chairman of this committee, Senator Ribicoff, concerned the Department of Justice investigation of my 1974 campaign committee and the overdrafts honored by the Calhoun National Bank. The issue of overdrafts by members of my family and others was also discussed at the hearings. Those who claim that I was withholding information from this committee at my confirmation hearings have, under the most charitable interpretation, ignored the information that was made readily available.
Lance and his family had run bank overdrafts of almost $500,000 at one point, and that caused at least one congressman to charge that Lance had used the Calhoun, Georgia First National Bank, which he ran, as a private playpen.
The Calhoun First National Bank for years followed a liberal policy with respect to overdrafts. I make no apology for this practice. It was believed by the bank's management that a liberal overdraft policy was a valuable tool for the bank to use in attracting and retaining customers. Despite the character